to A site now belongs to Dig. Fnatic on for the retake. JW though, is he going to be ready for Get Right, who, let's not forget, was faking the B play. He was the lurk, and he arrives late into mid. Deals with JW. Flusher now up from the B site. Does drop Forest. Halzerg playing with timings and playing with fire as Flusher removes him. Freiburg gonna try and get the trade, and he does. Better late than never, as now this leaves Crims 1v2 to try and deny a 13th to Dig and stop this comeback in the tracks. Half the time ticked off of this bomb, and Freiburg holds the line. 13 rounds for Dig to play with. No money for Fnatic. Likely gonna be a 14th on the board for Dig, and this one could go the way of Train. We could see another overtime here, back to back.
And Fnatic, you know, they're going to be kicking themselves they didn't close in that 3-on-2 eco round, right? Because now they've got another one of them. Of course, 2 more opportunities pre-overtime. One of them will be a rifle round, but Dig, they are making this happen. 3 in a row. Here's that half buy. I say half buy, it's not even that. Fnatic just get pistols in this round. They're waiting for loss bonus, and it's a long time coming. Dig going back towards long. It's been good to them in the past, but there's a player here to fight back. They deal with JW in party. Crims is next, and he is no task. Dig don't even take a point of damage, but they take a 5-on-3.
Yeah, Fnatic's so close, but that gap has really closed down here. DIGNITAS almost about to put their 4th on the board in a 3v5. Still, Fnatic can do some weird stuff with these pistols. We've seen it. We've seen Brolin hit some ridiculous shots through the bathroom walls. You can't bank on that, and that's the lesson.
Oh, Forest dealing with Dig, not missing a beat. They are leaving no stone unturned. And while Golden, he's just gonna slip away. I'm good.
You know what? I'm cool, guys.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take this 5-7. I'm gonna head out.
Okay.
Jinx. You know, Dig, they're panning for gold at this point. They're looking for him. Unsurprisingly, all the gold is in the bank right now. And come on, Dig. They got to be able to put two and two together. They know it. They find him. Exist gets the round. 14 now for Dig, and this would be another comeback to overtime. They weren't able to get it across the line over on Train, where they did a similar thing. They go ahead, they get 3 rounds consecutively to force an overtime, and then it falls apart. But here, where they needed 5 in a row to get to that point, it feels like the momentum is leaning in their favor, and this final buy from Fnatic is their chance to put a stop to that before it goes to another OT. Dig, they've played well, they've fought hard to get to this point now, and they don't want it to all be in vain.
JW an aggressive stance with that AWP and what could very well be the last round of the game, or we look at OT. JW is staying out in front of the fight, on the front lines, pressing the envelope. Right now he's got top connector held. Meanwhile, most of the fight going on over here at the B site. Forest, Crims just gonna have a field day trying to tag each other through the wall.
I think Forest's bullets are hitting the sandbags because they look dead on to Crims, but nothing is coming through. Those sandbags really tank bullets, as you know. But yeah, 5-on-5, minute on the clock. Dig back to mid. They've got connector. They've got the rotate point between the 2 sites, and that's the most important part. JW's got nowhere to back off. Long is about to be taken. He does get that kill, but look at his retreat path. Look at the options that lie ahead of him. Oh, great play from Dig. They hide behind the rock, and JW goes wide, thinking he's safe. Dig peek off the back of that. It's a really smart play instead of just going wide themselves, and JW getting the option to stay alive longer. That's not the case. Brolin has to tank the flash and can't shoot. He's waiting for the contact, but it goes the way of Halzerg. Hello, overtime. We're only 3 kills away from it. It's an A commitment. We've not seen many of these, and Flusher, oh dear, this is a play and a half.
Interesting.
Will it be enough? He's hiding inside of the smoke. He's letting them pass. 20 seconds. He can stop this bomb from getting planted, but he's dead. He's spammed through the smoke. Dig don't fall for it. They won't fall for anything. 4-on-2. Overtime surely happening here. The spray can't connect enough, and it's all on Crims.
He does offer up the first. Any more left in the tank? No, Get Right shuts him down, and we're heading to overtime. 15-15, and we run it back again. Dig They just refuse to go down without a fight, and I absolutely love it. You know, asking resilience of a squad that have had a pretty tough time thus far here at the road to Rio seemed like it would be a big ask, but Dig, you know, team of veterans, and that really goes without saying. You know, you look at the Knaves, they've certainly got that ability, and they're showing it now. Get right, keeping up appearances, and really in this second half, it feels like we've had Halzerg start to explode onto our screens in a pretty big way as well, right? Coming in just behind that of Freiburg and Get Right, who occupy the top of the board right now. Fnatic, it's OT again. That one spot they didn't want to be in has now reared its head once more. Investment going to come on through. And I'm curious if we see any orbs purchased up. We can also see what's going down over here on the B stream as their game's heating up and getting close as well, Trace.
We absolutely can, Harry Russell. That's right, 13-12 currently. And esports, the Finnish esports organization from Finland, obviously, looking to push this one around a little bit more. In the first map of that series, it went in the way of NIP. They went to overtime, 22-19. And we'll be jumping out of a pause here in a second, but we might as well update you as well on the C stream. Now, Copenhagen Flames, they pick up the first map, 16-13. That's Inferno. Dust 2 goes to Godsent. Now they're trying to settle the score over here on Nuke, and that's going to leave the Copenhagen Flames up 6-1 currently on their CT side. Copenhagen Flames consisting of players of caliber such as Refresh, which is a name that is refreshing. We haven't seen that around in a while, but good to see him back in the server. A player that showed a lot of promise. Now finding himself over there at the Copenhagen Flames. Meanwhile, we go to OT, overtime.
Yeah, I mean, there's never much love when we go OT.
Mate, I tell you what, like, the thing with Dig is, I hope that they look at this, you know, like, say this series doesn't go in their favor.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that, you know, if you're Dig, I mean, like, it's going to suck because you certainly had the chances to win this series. But if you look at, like, the team that you've been able to not just take to overtime back on train, but now to do it again on overpass, and to have your individuals matching the firepower of the team that has become the team to beat at the minute in the form of Fnatic, you know, that's got to be a feel-good feeling for Dig, especially when we had Get Right on just before this game, and he was kind of saying, you know, it's going to be a lengthy process, it's going to take time, we're trying to build this up, we're investing so much time, so much hours into the game right now, more than we have in recent memory, and it is showing already, right? And that is a great sign of things to come for this Dig squad. A roster that I think, you know, while everyone was very much kind of happy with the reunion of the old NIP squad under this Dig banner, at the same time, I think it was met with a fair share of, you know, like, apprehension from the overall community, right?
Realism.
Like, how good can this team that were once legends back in the day become once again? Because as we've seen, it's getting back to the top of the hill that you've already climbed that is the hardest feat in Counter-Strike, it feels like.
And for these guys to have committed to this project, you also have to note on the fact that they're doing it, and they're doing it where they have to show here. They have to show face. You know, for some of these players, they've been playing for a decade, more than a decade, and this is it. This is their time to leave their mark.
You wouldn't want to embarrass yourself on your way out, right? Like, not to say that these guys are going to do that at all. They're clearly not, but it would be a real shame for such a legendary team to form and then just be, you know, like a feeding squad, like just getting beaten up. So
they have something to prove here.
Yes, and it's great to see Dig really just bringing the fight, bringing the heat against, right now, the best team in the world. Obviously up for debate, but Fnatic, no doubt, in that top 3 for everyone who watches CS. Now, it's back to the A take. Dig, this is what got them into overtime. Will it do them any more than that? JW above, he's not falling. He will eventually, not down to his own decision. Brolin lets a man pass and Get Right kills a player on the site, but he doubles up as a response. Caught in the smoke, surely no more than that. 7 seconds, there's no time for a plant. Brolin's dropped the bomb, and Forest, he's on his own. He can't even get the kills. Crims gets a trade, and Fnatic find the first in overtime. What a mad round that was from Brolin.
Yeah, that was a little wild. He stays alive for so long. And you see JW drop the smoke there. That gives him a little bit of freedom of movement too, as JW got on Dicebox, tried to find some maybe WP kills. He's only good for 1. That's that. And look at that. Just all over it. Just so mobile around that smoke, and that's such a nuisance for the side of Dig. Fnatic, after sitting on 15 for so long, win the first round of overtime.
JW, he's repositioned back on A with this AWP. The overtime has granted the money to Fnatic, and right now that's proving to be a blessing. Or a curse, for Dignitas at least. JW waiting for that contact, and he's about to get it. Two players ready to swing, but it's JW to push first. Trade not there. Halzak looking for something from the toilets, but JW's pivoting like a turret with a little bit of movement to room. Brolin gonna help him out, and there's 2 left for Dig already. Oh, missed shot. That might give them a chance back in.
Yeah, only a slim chance though. Forest and Freiburg to try and deliver in this 2-on-4. Freiburg now out from the toilets. Does start to aggress up towards the short side. Flusher still making noise, but the boost got spotted there by Forest. He saw that. He sees a man up on top of the dumpster and say boost. It's not really a boost. Crims.
Just some positioning.
Yeah, standing atop the dumpster. Brolin falling all the way back through long. And I think Fnatic are anticipating that Dig maybe move away from this. And at the very, very least, Brolin can come in late to pincer up through the short side. Now, Freiburg is holding because he's very wary about a connector flank. But that's not where they need to be worried about. Freiburg puts up the entry to get one over here at the A side of the map. But Flusher, hats off to him. He's done such a good job of just denying this site control and buying time for the flank from Brolin. And there it is, pouncing into the back line. Flusher and Brolin get the kills they deserve. A 17th on the board for Fnatic. And one final hurrah for Dig as they head in to the last tier of the first half of OT on Overpass.
Yeah, you can understand why Dig slowed down there, and it does a really good job of you know, freeing up Brolin. His rotation is only coming through because Fnatic have lost sight of Dig, but after they get that kill on the site, I would love to see them elevate the pace and just try and trade the player on dice. Instead, sitting around waiting, when Fnatic know you're there for the second time around, they're just going to rotate accordingly, and Brolin comes in on the back line. Not that Dig were to know, but there was a chance for them to win that round, maybe trade and plant the bomb. But right now, Fnatic, once again, as soon as we hit overtime, you know, the pressure really coming on. And, well, diamonds in the rough, Fnatic have once again found a 2-round lead. Looking for a flawless CT half here. That would be quite the performance, considering it's Dig to bring a 5-round comeback to get us to overtime. Look how keen Brolin is to fight as well. He wants anything to come his way. He is desperate for kills.
Even though he's got a few in his pocket already.
Well, sometimes you get the taste, Trace. You get the taste for blood. You want more.
Well, maybe you should talk to somebody about that. In the meantime, it's JW with AWP very, very close. He's going to drop the bomb and try to get away before they trade him. And I say that he's going to repeat. Finds an excellent shot onto Exist. Couldn't have been much better placed than that.
How is he alive? How is he out? Oh, no. Oh, dear.
That is the case. Get right. Close to this B site. Like a moth to the flame, he's attracted to try to get into the site itself, and he will cross over. Krems is spotted towards Graffiti, takes considerable damage on that cross. And they're going to bring this bomb over here to the B site. It's going to turn into a retake scenario for Fnatic real quick.
Yeah, but they were ready for this, right? Not only a 5-on-3, but they were playing retake positions. And, well, that's because they're ready for it. JW boosted up with 1, and now Get Right in the pit has to hold his own. He is stuck out on an island, and 2 kills to his name is not going to be enough here. Halzak left in a clutch, but they're not ready for the flank. They don't expect it. The miss spray recovers well. They're on the bomb, though, and JW has the cover. 4 kills off the AWP in that round. He comes alive in overtime, and Fnatic go flawless on the CT side.
I just don't get it, man. Fnatic, it's like, yeah, they just kind of stop when they hit 15, and then they wait for the overtime if it rolls around, and then they go, yeah, all right, boys, so JW, just go get 4, and then we'll win the round on the back of it. That's cool. And that's exactly what happens here.
This is second shot right here. And see ya.
Cowabunga.
Decapitated is Exist.
Yeah, it's all about, you know, letting it go to OT and then winning it 4-0 to make those HLTV ratings look really nice.
Style points.
Yeah. Halzak, he's even had to take a hit. He's even had to save his util.
I also think as well, like, you know, with Fnatic, once the stress, the burden of the economy gets removed, right, they're freed up a lot more to kind of go for these audacious plays in the very, like, signature Fnatic style, right? And, like, you know, even if you think about JW, it's not like we've seen him AWPing, like, massively, and that has been the trend with him as an individual. You know, he doesn't need to bring it out in every round. But as you hit the overtimes, he can, just on a whim, decide to bring out the big green guns. And here, B-play attempted being the key word. Freiburg answers back with a double through the smoke. Forest shuts down Flusher, and it's chaos all coming up in favor of Dig. Only one man falls, a 16th now on the board, and they would need to go flawless here to take us to a double overtime on Overpass.
Yeah, and you notice the difference there for Fnatic, right? Obviously going into the T side, going back to what they relied on in the regulation, which was 5 rifles, no all AKs, flat B hits. Util wasn't great on those monster players either. They were the last 2, so just kind of contacting into the site. Dig, very stacked down on lower and very ready for that rush. Fnatic, well, they go back to just taking positions and defaulting once they've done so. Flusher going to take his spawn out B short. He gets spammed, and the Molotov does some damage, but he's out and about. He exists in the connector as well. Had a lot of battles against JW in that first half, who is also down the bottom of ladder. And him and Flusher looking to pinch this position. It's almost a bait for JW, trying to get Hausleck to come down the stairs to walk into Flusher, holding for this, but instead it's a boost up to watch Party, and that's a good timing on said boost because Hausleck's found Crims on the mid-cross, double setup there, and I think Fnatic might have a bit of an idea, but knowing may not make any difference because Hausleck's got 2, Flusher trading as he tries to exit the connector, but it's still an advantage for Dig.
And now I question whether or not they're going to be ready for Exist, also moving out from this position, right? He might be able to catch the timing.
Nice.
Golden is ready for Exist, but the bomb was spotted there on that peak. Now they also see Brolin over towards the long side. Freiburg gets the info there. And I like this decision to re-aggress into the toilets. He knows, right? He's either going to get a gunfight here that can maybe turn the tide, or he catches them leaving this A side of the map and can rotate down to B. And that's kind of what was hinted there with that from Brolin.
No.
But Dig,
they rotate up.
Yeah, they've gone for the rotation.
And the reason being is because he was trying to take the fight, right? So Digger going, okay, there's someone working A right now. Really, that was just, you know, him trying to clear the angle so he could go down lower. But yeah, Dig, misinformation. However, it's not the end of the world, right? You'd much rather play retake B than retake A because when you plant in B, you often have to skulk off to those choke points of Monster and Short. You can't really play the bomb safely from the site. And so Dignitas are in a good position. But Flusher is in a great position. He's pushed up towards CT. Golden playing the timing on Monster as well. Open plant for Flusher, and Golden's found the first. Doubles it? No. Freiburg trades him. Now Flusher, his time to shine. Will get a bit of damage off. The spray isn't there, and Forest will quick kill him as Dig get the defuse. Oh my, that's a killer for Fnatic.
That it is. But still, Fnatic could close the door right here. And what has been a very Valorant effort from the side of Dig.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's the part that can be really bittersweet, though, right? Because if they do all of this and then Fnatic still take it anyway, then that is a little bit sad, right? Because you've got like these huge performances, these huge rounds, making these rounds that shouldn't ever be doable happen. The comeback, once again, on the cards for Dig. Doing it twice in 2 maps wasn't enough. They want to do it a 3rd here in the overtime of this one. And, by the way, we accused the ENTS versus NIP game of copying us. Well, they are. They're into an overtime as well. So, yeah, NIP leant over to Dig and said, you know, like, can we copy your homework? And Dig said, sure, just don't make it too obvious. And
just change it up a little bit.
That's why they're a few rounds behind.
Well, at least their 3rd map is different from ours. Ours being Dust 2, that one being Inferno. But will we get there is the big question on everyone's mind. If Fnatic can find just this one round, well, it's done. It's all in vain, it's all over. And if not, we go again, a 2nd overtime for Dignitas to try and fight their way to a 3rd. Hausleck in the toilets, timing is everything here. It's cleared out close positions, but Fnatic are starting to move up. And it could be missed time for them. Hausleck spots an arm and a leg, and he takes Golden right out of this round. Big advantage for Dig to find, and what is the response from Fnatic? Do they just overcommit into A where 3 CT sit?
Looks like they want to drop some nades over here towards this A site. Exist waiting a smoke out. He's got some friends on the other side of it. I doubt they're going to come knocking, though. They might just kick the door down. Crims, JW, and Flusher, a trio that stand the test of time. So far Exist as well, and he's only good for one, so the trades there from Flusher. And so far, the battles have gone in the way of Dignitas. This JW left, excuse me, I say that, it's Flusher left by himself.
Yeah, he would need to ace this.
Oh, that might be an indicator.
Oh,
no way.
Almost. Needs to get this kill if he wants to get the bomb planted as well. And
no
there's
time.
not enough time.
So
Try
close.
as he might. By staying alive, Get Right has done enough. Flusher with 4, and he needed the ace to secure a victory for Fnatic. He gets it so close, but not close enough. Double overtime now.
The crazy thing is Fnatic, as they're setting up for that A play, right? Not only are there 3 players there, but they throw a Molotov, a really nice Molotov as well, that forces Exist off of that Bin's position close to toilets, and then Exist just swings, as you would, and gets a kill. Like, Fnatic, they need that frag. They need to be holding for that. If you throw utility and you don't wait for a reaction, then, yeah, you're going to be in trouble.
Man, we are deep in the time tunnel at this point, right? Dig making a comeback versus Fnatic happen. What year is it? Let's find out. Exist looking down here towards the short tunnel. Molotov doesn't do any damage, but it is a bit of a warning sign for Dig to get the hell out of connector. They turn away, they leave, they rejoin up with Halzerk and a little conga line of Swedes and co in towards this A site. Obviously barring Halzerk from that, right?
Yeah, talking of him, he's rotated down B with this orb, so falling into a more standard setup with 3 on lower. Flusher has been selling a fake down towards B to start the round. He did some spam damage, he threw some grenades. So he's trying to keep players in the wrong place. Right now it's a double setup on long. Dangerous decision from Dig. If they lose both these fights and they lose the site and the rotates are a long way out, but they're ready for it. Exist getting 1. They don't expect a second, and that's when Freiburg comes in clutch with a kill. They are going to try and take some long controls. They know he's stuck in this position, and he's not even going to back off as well. Tries to fake a reload for a fight. That's a nice little trick there. The audio will play if you start the track. Flash is even better though, and Fnatic, good response. They deal with Freiburg deep on long. They get a pick back, and with 25, they may as well just commit towards A. Right now, there's only 1 man here. Get Right's beginning a rotation up, and Digger about to figure it all out. Oh dear. Was it worth it?
Forest fire lit by Crims. Now in a 2v2. Halzerk and Get Right trying to stop this bomb from being planted. Get Right looking for it through the smoke. He's going to have to do a little bit of a dancing maneuver there, but ultimately he loses the battle with JW. Here's Halzerk though, coming in from the side of the dumpster. And with this bomb planted, JW's going to reposition himself. He's looking for that AWP. So now we can unlock JW's full potential.
Oh, the kid's bank as well. And yeah, Halzerk doesn't know where JW disappeared to. JW holds down the fort with the orb. And a bit of BM at the end, you know, trying to get in the heads of Dig. Yeah. Classic JW move.
Halzerk, what are you doing here? You're not part of the NIP roster. But no, that's right. I mean, nice try from Freiburg there on long. I like the idea for Dig, the double setup that fakes Fnatic, but Freiburg, he's not able to get out. That's the worry, right? He actually had a timing. He could have escaped, but if you don't instantly run away after that second kill, you're not getting out. And Fnatic just traded with a flashbang. So they will take the first of double OT, but Halzerk will take the first of the second round, finding Brolin deep down in the playground. Flusher flashed out a monster, Get Right peeking off the back of it. He doesn't see the bomb, but he does get some information. Dignitas are going to be poised outside of B, ready for a commitment here from Fnatic. Dig's info gathering has been really good this game on the CT side.
Oh,
wow, that's a great
just
grenade.
An absolute stinger of a missile. Golden catches it. Force is going to catch one for himself inside the site, make that 2. He's brought down to 46. But so far the battle has gone the way of Dignitas. Brolin's out. Now the hit looks to stick to B. Fnatic want to give it hell.
Oh.
What?
Forest, lots of damage through that smoke at JW. Oh, a little sigh of relief there as he's still alive. And in the meantime, Golden gets out through Monster. Provides a kill on a Get Right, but a great flash allows Forest to take that peek there. It is still traded and dealt with courtesy of Crims. And now Freiburg fragging from down here in the pit. Halzerk pushes up close and drops the bomb with Golden. Now, Crims and JW to try and pick up while the rest of the team left off. Halzerk is fully blind, has Exist here to help him out if needed, but Halzerk might not need assistance. Actually, he might now. It's AWP on AWP, Clash of the Titans. JW playing around the pillar, tagged down low earlier on. One shot is all that's needed. even with the pistol for Halzerk, but he does it with the AWP, takes on JW and lives to tell the tale. There's some revenge.
Yeah.
JW,
back to him,
not
huh?
so fun when it's you getting shot at after the round ends, huh? 19-19, and Dig immediately respond with a round of their own. I like that Halzerk's, you know, like responding with a bit himself, you know, because that's the thing, like when JW's memeing you, he does that every
Really
game. That's just how he is.
Side. Oh, that's not me. Wow, that's great. That is a great grenade.
That is a great grenade.
I love that
thing you did with
caster.
your voice there, man.
I love that caster.
That was probably my favorite Henry G clip, honestly.
Yeah. Wow. God, I was really scared. For
I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear what the casting sounds like when it's slowed down.
Well, we heard it in Fast Forward yesterday. Well, maybe not the casting, but the intro at least. The sponsors. But we're not trying to wrangle past them. We're not trying to forget the people that make this happen. Listed at the bottom of your screen.
All these matches powered on Intel. And also Freiburg empowering the FAMAS. Finds a kill on the JW. That's going to help them in this round immensely.
Yeah.
JW 32-27, but he is going to have to wait another round to see if he can get more than that.
Fnatic, they're just going to straight up commit. They're just going to run through. What else have they got? And luckily, B isn't stacked. There's only 2 men here. Make that 1. Forest holding his own. He's now got rotations, but they're flashed out, and Forest is deep in the site. Oh my, he's found some damage. Crims is hidden behind the smoke, but that ain't a wall. It's about to disappear, and so will his life behind it. Crims, anything here. Can you find it? No, Halzerk shut it down, and Dig, they win this half of overtime. It's double OT, and it's 20-19, 2-1 in the second OT on their CT side. We now flip the script once again. Are we going to Dust 2 is the question in our mind.
Man, I want to see Dig on Dust. Like, I used to love watching the Nip of old on Dust 2, right? Like, you'd have like these ridiculous clips of Freiburg, you know, doing like the catwalk to CT drop down and things like that. I don't know, man. There's so much nostalgia.
I didn't know you digged Dust, Harry. But,
I don't normally like Dust, but Dig can make me dig Dust. Digging myself out of this hole now as I try and make that one come full circle, but sometimes it's best to just let sleeping metaphors lie. Crims down here, spraying through the wall, not able to find any damage as Get Right comes out late. Short water control taken now by Get Right. And there are players over here inside of the site who might look to push this extremity, so he's just going to hang around for the time being. Smokes go up towards A in the meantime. One of those falling at toilets, and that's going to cut JW off. Dig setting up for a B play, and that smoke has kept 2 players up towards the A site. Golden spotted, sees the first player rearing his head from Monster. That smoke extinguishes the molly just in the nick of time. Dig, I mean, they're in. They've got to commit, right? They are right in the firing line of Fnatic, and they're trying to close the distance. Golden gets dealt with by Halzerk, and he doubles up. He's been a little bit quiet within regulation, but here in OT, Halzerk is here to stay. JW missed shot, and that could have made all the difference at changing the outcome of this round. Brolin and JW left in a 2-on-4 to deny map point up against Dig.
Oh, missed shot, but very close. Halzerk deep in the Monster, and JW swapping out guns. The bomb has been dropped on the site, and there's 30 seconds for him to make things interesting. Smoke forward. They actually go through it. JW back to back. Oh, he turns at the worst possible moment, and Brolin, sorry, trades for 2, but Halzerk's going to get him quick with the AWP. 1 HP left, 3 kills on the round. It's Halzerk to make it happen. I keep mixing up Brolin and Golden. I don't mean to.
How dare you?
Yeah.
One thing not to be mixed with is the fact that DIGNITAS have brought this back from the brink of disaster.
Yeah.
And potentially losing an entire series to now just about pushing us into a 3rd map of Dust 2. So let's see if they can do it right here in this round.
Such an impressive comeback for Dig, right? The 5 rounds in a row to get overtime, and now even surfing through to a second OT, they're finally on match point.
The thing that's even more impressive is this has been such a good map for Fnatic, and one that Dig have barely played. And as you mentioned, Hugo, before we headed into this, the last time they met Fnatic on this map, they got 16-3.
Yeah.
This is an incredible game from Dig to step up and match the Titans that are Fnatic right now. Crims trying to hold short, Get Right pressures it, and A bit of spam goes the way of Crims. He gets caught in the crossfire. Meanwhile, Exist has found an opener in this round. Man advantage for Dig and map point on the line. 4 kills is all that separates them from locking in Dust 2.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait around and find out. Don't sleep on Fnatic. Halzerk's going to have his AWP out, and the rest of his team's going to be joining him over here towards the side of Fountain. Looks like they want to press the long A issue, or at least split it between that and bathrooms.
Yeah, this is still trying to sell B fake as well, hanging around quite late, but it's just making sure Fnatic haven't re-aggressed, and that is the case. Very off angle for Brolin on top of the site, and he won't hang around there long, just smoking off the front of it. Now they're coming up long, he's going to go back above the smoke. Nice one way, and the bomb dropped as well. Brolin might be bringing us to another overtime. Flusher's going to try and assist as well. He's got a kill on the site. Halzerk's pushed up. He's been the hero of overtime, but 20 seconds might not be enough time for Dignitas in this round. Halzerk trying to flank, and his teammate's already gone. Get right, dropping the bomb on the site, and Halzerk up on the chopping block. 10 seconds for them to find him, or him to find them. It doesn't really matter at this rate. It's a done deal. It's a 20th round for Fnatic. Again, Brolin just looking so good on these scoped weapons. Doesn't matter what's in his hands. He gets it done. Fnatic, one more round with an overtime. It would certainly do this game justice.
Tit for tat, back and forth we go. Brolin with some individual heroics there to really keep Fnatic in this ballgame. But I say that, and the other overtime over of Ints and Ninjas in Pajamas has concluded. Ints picked up that second map. That means they're going to a third of Inferno. Ooh. Didn't copy us there, did you guys?
Well, we can still go to a third trace. Remember, this round...
We can't go to Inferno, though.
No, sadly not. Just a bigger version of it, you know? Dust.
Yeah, and I mean, if the sticky notes tell us anything, it's that Dust 2 is just a larger or smaller Inferno. I really don't even know. Larger? Okay. Yeah. Either way, it tells us that, I guess.
Well, JW, he sat in heaven and he killed Get Right jumping short to spot. Like, that's mental. Holding for a boost potentially, or the connector, but he'll take the kill when he gets it. Advantage for Fnatic. They've been good at closing these ones out, but Dig, hey, more rounds to their name. They can't be messed with either. Brolin's pushed up in the toilets. He's going to hear these flashes go over, spotting the gap. He won't be able to kill anyone through this gap. It's not the Deagle headshot wallbang. 35 seconds. Freiburg selling a fake, but it seems obvious at this point. He's dropping down lower, and Fnatic are ready for it. 3 players here. Crims has a spray. He's dropped the bomb. Full rotate can come through now, but it might not be needed. They might be going to a third overtime. Freiburg trading, but they haven't even seen Golden in the corner, and he's there to drop the bomb the second time around. It's done. It's over. It's a third overtime as we get going with more Counter-Strike here on Overpass.
Man, I wanted to see something great from this Dig Fnatic squad, and this is exactly...
Look at this.
Well, I mean, this isn't how I imagined it going down. I was hoping for 3 maps, but if we just get 3 maps worth of Counter-Strike in 2 and then move on to a 4th map, essentially, that would be incredible. Dig on the back foot now as Fnatic are the ones to grind their way back into an OT this time around, and that there could be a bit of a momentum switch in this game. Let's see if Dig have what it takes to keep this action coming. Smoke gets thrown. That's pretty cool. That's a smoke that goes over to extinguish the mid-molly thrown from T-spawn, and that's going to give the illusion that Dig have crossed thanks to that molly getting put out. You know, if you're Fnatic and you throw that Molotov and you see no one going in behind it, then you know that it's probably going to be a B play. But with the smoke falling, these players have to stay at the A side of the map, and that leaves B with just 3 players defending, now turned into 1. Flusher can sometimes feel like he hits with the force of 3. Let's see, though, if that's enough in this round. Forest gets the trade, and the B site now belongs to Dig.
Yeah, look how deep they are as well, right? Get right pushed up below heaven, clearing CT, making sure Fnatic haven't got any foothold in this round, in this site. Not at all. Halzerk holding the molly as well. And I think he's been seen. Brolin spotted a leg, but the AWP is faster, and an instant kill has left JW alone. Might want to save this AWP once again. 10k MR3 in the major cycle, in the major circuit. So JW, he doesn't have money for days. Instead, he's just going to have to hold on to this AWP. And Dig, once again, taking the first, getting on the board nice and early. Nice little B rush.
I'm telling you, that's generally the way it goes. I mean, it's what we saw get us into overtime. Fnatic sat on 15 for the longest amount of time, and then, of course, win the first one of OT, so that puts them up to 16. And you just really start to look at things like, you know, the money system, the economy of the teams, and resetting all of that. But now we look to see who the first to 25 is in OT number 3. That's the magic number. It's not very often that we've covered, I think, triple overtimes on our end here.
No, I tell you what, man, out of all this series is to go to 3 OTs, I'm very glad it's this one, right? Like, there's so much history in the server that I'm just kind of nerding out, I'll be honest. Like, that's all this has really been, because I love both of these teams, and the fact that, you know, Dig are giving this such a good go, and even more than that, you know, that feels like...
Yeah, good go feels like an understatement.
Yeah, like a real understatement of just what it's taking to match up against the Fnatic that is in a damn near unstoppable form at the minute, it feels like, right? And now a B-play coming on through, back on the cards. The bomb goes in first and gets gifted over to Fnatic. Dig, they might be kicking themselves here as it all falls onto Freiburg. He's not able to deliver. Flusher answers back with 3 of his own, 2 for Golden, and a 22nd round now on the chart for Fnatic.
That's one of the worries of throwing that nade stack. Dig have done it a lot this game, and it's never really netted them anything. They throw the triple nades outside the monster, the Astralis nades that land on the boost spot. Was next to it. He gets hit for 40 by 3 grenades. That's not a lot. But what that does do for Fnatic is immediately tell them, guys, Dig are about to rush 3 monster. And so everyone's just ready, right? They mow them down on short. They get the mollies in play. And Fnatic are prepared for the rush this time. So their round on the B site. Dig now, last one of the half, wanting to take the lead again going into CT. But will Fnatic make it that easy? Triple B setup, and Dig moving towards middle for a change. We've got JW again in the toilets, but he lets him go down con. He's holding for the short cross. Sees nothing, but does hear them. So he knows that Dig are hanging around the stairwell. And that's maybe where the bomb goes as well. Get right waiting for this aggression, and that's a free kill. Crims doesn't check it, and now Dig can just commit, not only with the advantage, but with where the bomb is going. This is perfect. Golden aggressed in with a flashbang, finds Get Right. Exist trades him though, and leaves Flusher alone.
Yeah, the horrible thing about this is that you haven't really had too many tells that it's going to be the B play, right? Exist emerges from the connector, but that could have very easily been a player swinging for the trade on his way up towards the A bomb site. And so that delayed the rotation from Brolin and JW. That bit of uncertainty with the man advantage in favor of Dig. Now Brolin delivering one, has JW here to back him up if needed, and it will be needed if this round looks to go in favor of Fnatic. Ooh. Another kill for Brolin. Forest tries to come through the smoke, but Brolin is on a tear. And now just Exist left to beat. Locked into a 1v1 and Exist at the sandbags. The bomb is so open that Exist could be anywhere. There's no hints in the bomb plant, and Exist swings out from behind the sandbags. 23 on the board for Dig. 22 on the board for Fnatic.
You're right, Harry.
And now, you know, we're looking for first to 25. It's another one of these ones where Fnatic, they would need to go flawless if they want to pick that up. It really does feel like that this game could just keep going to OTs till one team goes flawless in the half. And at that point, it's like a war of attrition, you know? It's like a battle of fatigue. It's who tires out first.
A marathon. And we actually have somebody in the house who has ran a marathon. That would be Hugo Byron.
Hi.
What does it take to topple that stamina, that endurance, Hugo?
Lots and lots of running, Trace. Not really much else I can give you there.
Fair enough.
Wow. Believe in yourself.
Hydration is important too.
Yeah.
Zerk's going to keep it wet in the server, and so is Exist.
Yeah, swimming with the fishes are the bodies of Fnatic in this round, and they're burning in the embers as well. 3 dead to begin this one. Dig looking for 24, and Golden trying to deny it. Big entries on the in-game leader for Fnatic. B has been swept under and over. Fnatic are all over this site, and they can get the plant as well. These post plants can be so difficult to hold on to. Hauser looking for the advantage back. He won't hit his shot. Flush is stuck in the site, dead to Exist, and no HP left on some of these players, but Golden can't capitalize for the ace. It will be 24 to Dig, 1 round away from that number 3. Or in this case, number 2, Dust 2, the 3rd map of the series.
Well, I'm not confused.
If you're confused, Trace, I don't know, maybe you're in the wrong seat.
Maybe I am. That would be the number 25 that we're looking for, and also that second or third map. God, see, you got me, man.
Yeah, that second map, Dust 3.
Good grief.
Coming
Source
to
2.
a cinema near you.
Already out. Check hltv.org. Source 2 released.
Flusher banned.
And JW backed. All of these things are not real. Anytime you read those things, they're not real, people.
Until they are. That's very hard.
One day.
Halzerkin towards Party. Tries to find a kill on a man getting across. JW just runs the gauntlet through Con. I actually don't... Oh, you might not be alive much longer. Go. It dodges it. JW still alive. Still kicking over here towards short side. But it's a measly bit of control at quite the cost for Fnatic, right? JW bought down low, and Dig fall back into a passive hold all across the map. The only man who's out on a bit of a limb right now is Halzerk over here at the long side. How much longer is he going to commit to this angle for? Because he is on a timer, and he knows that. They can come through the toilets, and that's what he's got to worry about. He doesn't actually fall off. Instead, he gets peckish and decides to go in. See if he can pad these stats. Big kill onto Brolin. That's a man at long dealt with, and that opens up an avenue for Halzerk to fall back into the A site.
Man.
Golden, another big kill on the entry from him. Bests exist back inside of A, and at the very, very least, that's forced a rotation up from the B site.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. A second's difference could have been a round win for Fnatic, but instead it's Golden getting dropped on the A site with 2 players there. That's info enough, but what can Fnatic do with this info? They're losing bodies. Flusher entries B. Forest is alone here, they know it, but the rotate is so quick. Freiburg has come down, and another man coming in from the backline as well. Bomb planted for Forest here. Flusher covers, and it's all up to the York. Quick kill. Flusher needs them all, and he can't do it at all. Halzerk shuts down the series, and he will send it packing. Let's go to a third. Dust 2 round the corner.
No, man, I love this from Halzerk. They were DMing him. They were shooting his body in the first OT when they killed him, and since then Halzerk has been on a tear. Dig, they get this second map locked in on the back of Halzerk with a phenomenal 1v2 to get the job done. And now we're going to Dust 2, the third and final map in this series. To say you don't want to miss it is an understatement, because what a series it's been. Dig versus Fnatic coming up after the break.
but she bring me back. Not a heart attack could take away all the love I had for you. It bleeds for you, it beats again. Oh, you bring me to life. Oh, you bring me to life. Oh, you bring me to
Well, you wanted a show, so we're going to give you one. And so are Dignitas. 25-22 on the second map of Overpass. Train going the way of Fnatic, and that was even a close affair, too. All the overtimes and just a few extra rounds here at the ESL 1 Road to Rio. My name is Trace. Alongside of me is Harry and Hugo. And going forward, we need to talk a little bit about the map of Dust 2, but not before we put an end to Overpass. This is a map. They're everywhere. Dignitas have answers for just about everything.
And a lot of those answers come in overtime, and that's thanks to Halzuk, right? We saw the first round of OT. It was a clutch on the A-bomb side. It was JW versus Halzuk, AWP on AWP. JW wins it. He starts spamming the body, starts going full BM mode. Follow up, the next round, same situation, one-on-one, Halzuk JW. Halzuk wins it, he BMs back, and then he just comes alive in overtime, finding 3 or 4 kills around with the AWP, slaughtering them on the CT side. We had more than enough overtimes, and so more than enough opportunities for Halzuk to frag, and boy, did he do that.
Yeah, and so did Get Right. He was all over the place. We saw vintage Get Right that was really finding himself behind enemy lines and cutting off rotations that we know Get Right to be able to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird one, right? Because, like, that for the longest time when he was with these guys in NIP, that was what he was known for. And then we kind of saw, you know, as that NIP squad fell apart piece by piece, we saw him kind of moving away from that lurk role, right? And here, back with the boys, back in Dig, he is looking more present in the server than ever, man. Like, the amount of times he found himself behind enemy lines or just securing key areas of the map, right? And then you kind of factor into that the fact that he has a great individual performance in terms of the numbers as well. He was just a treat to watch. He really was. And, you know, we credit a lot of the ending of that to Halzuk, but I think the reason it was so close to begin with was because of Get Right in the server. He was head and shoulders above anyone else on the team in regulation in this map.
In the first half, he was a top player in the server, despite Dig not even winning out the half, right? And that was T-side start. That wasn't, CT start. It wasn't super comfortable. Fnatic were bringing the heat, and still he was, you know, the guy to look out for. Even on the T-side, like in this round, it would find entries into B, or like find timings. We saw that back on Train where he would get out B and walk through the connector and find really good lurks and get information for Dig. He did the same on the T-side here when he was left alone to his own devices. That's when he seemed to find all these gaps, all these holes, all these opportunities. And boy, oh boy, has it taken us a distance. Dust 2, third map of this series. It's everything we wanted and more.
It really is a crazy turn of events, but that also leads me to turn us right into a break. There's not a minute to be wasted as we look towards that third map of Dust 2. Dignitas, Fnatic, squaring it up, trying to settle the score. We'll be right back after this. Make sure you don't go anywhere.
Son intelligence de jeu, même quand il avait 6-7 ans, c'était assez incroyable.
Donc au début, on était meilleur que lui.
Je pense qu'il a, c'est à partir de ses 14 ou 15 ans qu'il a commencé à être meilleur.
Au début, quand il perdait, c'était un très mauvais perdant. Hein.
Oui, je me souviens très bien qu'il cassait beaucoup de souris.
Everybody loves an underdog. Who needs to be liked?
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Last year, we took 2 lucky winners on a trip to Berlin and gave them the experience of a lifetime. This year, we can take you for a trip to Rio. Take part in a series of GG.bet contests for a chance to win awesome prizes and a trip to Rio. See details on the website.
Chasing the night, chasing the night. Hotel rooms and city squares, champagne bottles, drum and snare. The sights and cities seem to fall away when you stay. Locked in love for a night or two, losing sleep just to get off you. Day to day, you wanna stay out. You're chasing the night, holding on for life, feeling the high, chasing the night, chasing the holding on for life, feeling the high, chasing the night, chasing the night.
Seems like I can't get away from the hot sun. Always night and never day. Even when I wash the floor, the dust still comes. Keep on hoping for the break. No matter how lost, need no light, no spark. I'm in line mode. With my eyes closed, I can see in the dark. I'm a quiet storm.
ESL 1 Road to Rio is brought to you in part by Intel, Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, and GG.bet.
All of
of the rounds, baby. Turn up the rounds in here. I want you guys to see all of this. Extra rounds. Extra rounds. I want the full buys. I want the OTs. I want all of the rounds, and I want all of the lights. Turn up that digital vibrance so you don't miss a damn thing. This is the ESL 1 Road to Rio. Shout out to both Sean Gares, my ghostwriter, and the original writer of that being Rihanna. I have Harry and Hugo here to help me decipher this and tell me how this one could go the complete distance on Dust 2. We've had a full series thus far, and I don't expect it to be any different now.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? Dignitas had just come into this firing on all cylinders. Yeah. Everyone is looking great. And so I think, you know, we can't look at this through like the usual lenses. I think we have to work with what we've seen thus far in this series. And that is a dig that is really bringing the heat to Fnatic, currently ranked #1 in the world. They are giving them a run for their money. I think that's fair to say. We've had 2 overtime maps to start the day. Not just 1 overtime. Not actually just 2. We've had, what, 3?
3 on the second, 1 on the
4
first.
total. So there's always a chance for more here heading to Dust 2.
So the strange part for me is this, right? We look at this match and we see Dignitas versus Fnatic, and we think to ourselves, okay, like these guys have obviously played each other before, and in a weird way, there's a little bit of a rivalry sense, even though both of these teams are stacked differently throughout rankings. But from my experiences, growing up in a southerner state and watching American football, these rivalry games can go anywhere. And so far, that's what's being delivered right in front of us.
Yeah, we talk about it a lot here at the Road to Rio, but familiarity, and it plays a part. It plays a part with teams, you know, playing against their ex-teammates. I guess in the case of Exist, that is the case here. But, you know, it's been some time since that very situation. Looking to Dust 2 here, I think it's interesting because Fnatic, we just talked about how back on Overpass, that's been such a good map for them. They've been picking up win after win. They're on a 3-win streak prior to that game. They've beaten Astralis on it. They've beaten FaZe on it. They look really good. Well, right now we go to Dust 2. Not quite the pretty picture for Fnatic, at least. Last 3 games, all losses to OG, Mousesports, and End. So just to look at that at the surface level, that certainly doesn't bode well. And considering, you know, Dignitas have proven that previous results don't tell us who they are because, you know, last time they played Overpass, they got 3 rounds versus Fnatic. So the same could be said for Dust 2. And I think they're in a very good position to win this series.
Yeah, they certainly are. And one thing we need to remind you all is that a knife round does determine who starts on what side. We are privy to watch this, so slice and dice, if you will. A little bit of Zorro action in the server. JW gets a kill on a Brolin, of course, his teammate, but also the last one. So
yeah, JW wants as many knives as he can get. And
exactly.
If that means cutting down a few of your own, then, you know, it all just pads the stats along the way. So, yeah.
Nothing like a 6K ace, you know. We saw that from NIP at least the other day here on the Road to Rio as well. So.
We saw Stewie do that a long time ago. But you know what? Don't let any of those things be bygones because Stewie 2K did it first. Anyway, we're looking at the last map of Dust 2, and I kind of want to know what strengths we should be looking for here on both sides. And we talk about there being some weaknesses here for Fnatic on the map of Dust 2. What about strengths, though? What are we looking for them to play into?
Well, you know, I think something you have to look at immediately is going to be this AWP head-to-head, right? Because we already had that battle between JW and Halzek heating up back on Overpass. It got a little bit personal there towards the very end. And I'm sure that's set to continue here, moving into the realm of Dust, right? I think Halzek is going to prove to be an instrumental piece of the puzzle here as to whether or not it kind of makes or breaks this this dig run in this series. On top of that as well, right? I think I would love to see Dig start over on the T side. I know that we saw Fnatic pick up the knife round there, so we're going to have to wait and see. But yeah, I think it would be great for them to come into Dust with a T-side start and keep this momentum high, right? Keep this in-your-face style of Counter-Strike and just keep bringing the heat to Fnatic.
Yeah, and they're pushing them. And you know, we talk about knife kills here, there, and the other for Fnatic. Well, there's a reason that we don't see a lot of that right now. And I would honestly just bank on it, the fact that Fnatic are getting pushed around. Yeah. And it's Dignitas that are doing it to them. And this is us doing it proper. For us to get into this pistol round, we've got to let the beat drop a little. And we've got to bring the ruckus. We got to bring the noise. And we're going to be doing it on Dust 2, the third and final map of this series. Can Forest or can Crims, can they put up those excellent performances we know they're capable of doing? Or will this one slide right out of Dignitas' hands? They're so close to the finish line. And here we are on the pistol round.
Yeah, Fnatic on the CT side start, Harry. So you get your dream, you get what you wanted. Dig now getting to direct the pace of this matchup. At least to begin. I'm sure there's many, many overtimes in the future where we can see even more of this madness, but let's at least get through regulation before we do so. Fast cap play. Freiburg is up and about, and Crims is going to get pushed towards the spawn. Oh dear, nice shot on the Freiburg cross. Goes back to long, and he's got JW alongside him as well. Get Right is late lurking this position, but right now, his entire team are falling like flies. The bomb plant may be allowed for the catwalk, but Fnatic, they have an inkling, and Crims also take the fight to him. They won't expect a second player, you would think, and JW trades it. All well and good for Fnatic. The flashbang sets him up towards Catwalk, and there's a double flash that Exist does burst someone with. Halzerg trading, and things are getting messy, but Fnatic will secure that pistol round. Woo! Quite the start to this game, though. I'm already excited.
Is JW going just to BM? Yeah, I thought that was the case. He got off the defuse, and it's like Flusha has a kit, so they could do it, right? And it makes sense in that POV, but that is just for JW. Oh, to go and BM Halzerg. I love it. Let's keep this heat turned up. Halzerg versus JW. Who knew that that would be the rivalry that we get today?
Surprise.
I absolutely love it.
JW's like, you're not a Swede. What are you doing here?
Well,
Get him out.
I guess.
Yeah, those ragdolls can be different. Well, it looked like he was shooting his hand in the, server. The replay shows otherwise. Body on the ground, face in the floor.
Message there regardless.
Yeah, I think they worked it out. I think they knew what he was trying to convey with the bullet shots, but...
Why is this guy just shooting the ground way over there? Anyway, the message is clear. Fnatic and Dig. This one, I don't think would be getting too personal, but it's definitely heating up. The buffer is running out. A little bit of the scrappiness from Dig. They're going to have some weapons go right out of mid doors. No one has spotted them yet. In fact, no one's even really aware that that's a possibility. Golden now has realized that error. He's going to drop a Molotov. He knows that they could be out. They're going to run out. Pretty much Zerg rush Golden right into oblivion.
Rolling alone, and SMG is not the fight you want to take towards middle versus those AKs. He will get a quick work of an example. And only one kill coming through for Fnatic in this round. They're still getting lurked on Cat as well. Get Right can come in late and really be a problem for Fnatic if they want to look at this retake. And the fact they're hanging around so long surprises me. But they know that this is a force for Dig. They know they shouldn't have a lot to play with. No armor on Get Right. How's it going to scout? It's worth peering into, poking and prodding. JW does both, and he will find Halzerg in the sight. Knows there's a player at the back as well. Get Right on this late drop. It's being held. Flusha is very aware, and he's found himself a 2-on-2 with the time ticking out of the hands of Fnatic. Kills need to come through, and JW almost has them all. Freiburg trading, and I think he's won the round just by staying alive. 3 to his name. He knows Flusha's off it, and he can try and chase the kill as well.
Man.
1 HP the difference. Even if Flusha doesn't die to the bomb, which he will, it's going to be a round for Dig regardless. Great work from Freiburg. And I think, was it Flusha running away? Thinks that Freiburg's hanging around. That's not the case.
Yeah, he knows he was dead to bomb anyway, right? So I think he just wanted to try and get that one kill onto old mate Freiburg. And obviously Freiburg has gotten the hell out of there. Didn't want to hang around when that bomb was exploding. And we learn why. Flusha falls in amongst the explosion. And that there has left Fnatic in with a 4-spy here as these 4-spy wars start on Dust 2. We wanted a close third map, and we are delivering just 3 rounds into play.
And I would have to say that's probably ultimately due to most of the chat spamming a bass to help Dignitas or something like that. Anyway, Flusha, though, he has nothing to say about these copy passes. He wants nothing to do with any of it. He's going to be holding the line, but Exist has such a tighter angle. That's going to be 2 big kills for him. Krim's trying to hold on to the control of this B site, but it's gone. They have no vision there anymore. And just JW with a deagle. 1v2 against Get Right and Forest. The bomb is down. And it's not down far from him. His play there is to go through the smoke, and, well, that proves to be a fatal one.
Yeah, good decision for Dignitas there, right? They just stop in their tracks. They know the bomb's been dropped. They know he's likely going to make a hero play in the 1-on-2, and they just hold the smoke. Yeah, offers himself up to them.
Yeah, some big Dig energy here.
Yeah, that's what you like. The BDE in this case.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fnatic Eco, though. Just a smoke for the cross, but nothing really going behind it. They're heavy towards the A site instead. So Exist taking his spawn with the MAC-10. And they're actually not going to peer the corner. They're going to wait for contact. They'll get it. Exist sees one on the car. Or more than he bargained for on this A site. And dinks through the wall. Finally, one will do damage. Freiburg takes the kill. But Dig actually didn't spot all those players. They know there's more. Get Right's going to start to clean house.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Luckily enough, Freiburg is here to help mop this up, I was going to say.
Sure.
But Oh no, it's gotten messy. Freiburg is still hanging around. Brolin's retrieved an AK though. This was a full USP round from Fnatic, and we're into a 2-on-2. Forest and Exist, they don't want to get embarrassed like this. They smoke off mid, and Forest posts himself up in the window. About to come through this is Flusher. Forest hopping on down, gives Flusher a bit of a timing now where he can try and get out into this middle area. He's waiting for Brolin to do a lap and come and join him. Secure a foothold in mid because they don't want to risk just losing a man to the push. There's still very much a chance for Fnatic here.
Well, that's not ideal now, is it? Little Richard's going to get burnt out of the back of the site, and that's going to leave him to reposition himself.
That there is devastating. Luckily enough, Exist gets a kill from this position, but yeah, this isn't where he wanted to be. And shout out to Forest for making this round. Fnatic's defuse comes in, and Brolin delivering 4 kills, 2 of which with a USP in a full eco round from Fnatic. They find a second and they put it on the board. Forest, he mustn't like Exist that much. Mollied him out of position. I hope that's something Dig are laughing about. That's the thing, they're a pretty cheery group of guys. But still, like, this isn't the round you want to be giving over, you know? Like, no matter how much you try and laugh that off, oh, that is devastating that that's how it falls apart.
You lost to a $300 investment at the end of the day, and that was that smoke on the mid-cross. So Fnatic, wow, what a round. Not one you can bank on, but they will certainly take it. And JW's taken a man out of middle. We quickly responded, though. Halzerk, no more shots at the bodies this time, but it will be an early trade to put things in a 4-on-4. And with the less players alive for Dig, the more those guns can spread over. So at least we have 3 rifles in play, armed and dangerous. Halzerk waiting for the repeat, and he might just get it.
He might. Golden a little bit wiser, though. So far, Get Right trying to lead the charge out here on the catwalk. But Flush Up, well, he's not going to just give it up without at least taking down Exist. This has turned into a 2v3. Golden very, very low. 22 HP. He does have the kit. Brolin's going to be there, trying to look at the site from CT spawn. This smoke on catwalk, they are well entrenched. Taps are not going the way either one of them want to. So they're going to back out. This looks like a round for Dignitas.
Yeah, Brolin needs to be careful with the bomb here. I mean, he's looking for cross players, and he will get right, but there's going to be more where that came from. His legs shown. You can't see a player here, but he will go wide and get the job done. Nice shots from Brolin. He's definitely dead to the bomb on this health, so he needs to run. Oh, he dodges the orb. Brolin, get out of there, buddy. It's going to be a round regardless for Dig, and the AK does get saved. So that's decent for Fnatic. They get out with guns alive, but they do lose the round, and that's not what they had in mind. Halzerk was big trading as well into JW early on, not letting that orb get off to a good start. And Get Right again, just crucial double entry into the site as well. Continuing his performance across this entire series.
That almost felt like a kind of like long-range bait and switch from Dig, right? They have the AK firing down mid, and that leaves JW feeling confident enough to take the peak. And when he deals with the first guy, he sees a bunch more players down towards Suicide, so he thinks, well, they're dueling me with AKs, I can take this fight. And as he peeks out, that's when Halzerk deals with him. So kind of a cool little idea, but this round has not gotten off to a swimming start here for Dig. They've lost 3 players in the blink of an eye. The bomb is a part of that, and it's only Forest left. 1v5 required, 1:30 on the clock. And likely he's already turning towards saving this orb. But the problem is that Fnatic are going to be all over you. They are already back here in T-Spawn.
God, look at Flusher.
Who is going to check for Flusher? No one's going to check for Flusher. Surely, right? This isn't a position you're ready for. And this could be a knife in the 3rd map of the series. Come on.
This is a knife, 110%.
He's ducking underneath the Flusher. Ooh, no. Forest! Forest, turn around, he's behind you! Oh, no. Flusher gets it. And we knew it was coming. It was only a matter of when. Not so much if. And there it is.
Yeah. Pulls out his katana, slices and dices him.
Flusher studies the blade, okay? While you were out there, you know, retiring, he was studying the blade. And for good reason. That's a big round for Fnatic. No AWP saved here for Dig, and Get Right on a hero AK in a 4-spy round, just looking to hit that B-bomb site nice and quickly. Fnatic throwing a Molotov. It could make Dig go for a contact play late. They don't have the utility to smoke this off. One smoke. Oh, wow, they go for it. I was going to say, they might rather save that for the door, but they'll just go fast into the site. Brolin is waiting, and Golden's gone. Get right with the kills to make things happen, and Dig are in B. This could be their round on Eco, because we know it. We've said it. Dust 2, very hard to retake that B site.
Damn near impossible in some instances.
Man, this series is great. Like, this series is stellar. This is a force buy from Dig, where they only really have pistols and a rifle on Get Right to try and get the job done, and they might manage it. Fnatic looking to come in for this retake. The mollies they hope can burn players out, and it does. Burn Halzerk down to the grave, 3-on-3. As this retake tries to kick up a notch, and out from the window, it's Flusher dealing with one. Get Right still alive! No. And how's he managed that? 4 kills in the round for Get Right, and Dig put a 4th on the board on the back of it. We are well and truly in the time vortex now. Dig sit in the lead, 4-3 up with a stellar clutch from Get Right.
JW, man, he comes through the door here. Get Right just, after this, Get Right turns around. He should be dead. He's getting dinked. You can see the blood on the wall. And JW, I don't know what happens, but he puts him down to sub 10 HP and doesn't finish the job. Maybe ran out of ammo, maybe with the shots. But whatever it was a great spray from Get Right. An excellent conversion as Dig get rid of more pistols.
Yeah, absolutely the best time for you to tell everybody you know. Go ahead and open your Steam friends. Go ahead and get on Discord. Tell them all about what you're watching here. Fnatic and Dig, this is a special matchup. And even on the outset of that, we're going to have a Strawless Vitality coming up next in a best of 3, which is certainly something you could set in for the long haul for as well. Here in this ESL 1 Road to Rio, the group stages will carry on. 25-22 in the second map, 19-17 in Train. I'd say we're on the path to something repeated here in the map of Dust 2.
Yeah, maybe a quad overtime trace. We've only had 3 in the previous map. That doesn't feel like enough, so...
Mate, the longer, the more we can get out of this series, the better. And
yeah, Astralis Vitality, by the way, is going to get delayed heavily because of this game, which is our next matchup, obviously.
And by delayed heavily, I mean, it should start, you know, pretty much at the conclusion of this. Obviously, there's some formalities that have to be taken care of.
That game was scheduled for 10 minutes ago, though. So that you know, shows you where we're at right now.
It's true.
This one really has been a barn burner and gone longer than any series we've done here so far. And I still want more. My hunger is yet to be satisfied.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? You think about the OTs, what? We've had 4 of them in total. 4 times 6 is what? 28? 24? 24? Nailed 24. That one.
Wait, what did you just say?
24. I don't know, mate.
He said 24.
Yeah, I said 24 the whole time. And, you know, that's basically a whole extra map. So this has been like a 4-map best of 3, and I'm very, very happy about it. The more I get to see Get Right, wrecking fools in the server, the better. And, well, this round could be more of the same. It's another pistol investment from Fnatic. However, we've seen them do pretty well in the past. I thought it was Freiburg who got that kill. That's why I just paused for a moment. I was like, what? But no, it was it was Get Right delivering right when we wanted him to over towards the long doors. He catches JW trying to aggress. In response to that, Dig just blindside this A site knowing they can get in. They've carved a bit of a path. And in this round, the pistols aren't going to find anything for Fnatic. It will be that 5th round, that coveted 5th round on the board for the Dig squad.
Easy does it on the anti-eco. Not a single death. Forrest gets very close. He pokes his head through, but he will come out unscathed, relatively. 5-3 to Dignitas with 5 alive in the previous, and that Mag 10 gets insta-upgraded or traded over. Exist. If he takes that off spawn, he could hit the B-bomb site with his spawn. So we'll see what the decision is to be made here for Dig.
I think you put the AWP into Halzerk's hand. Force is going to elect to go towards B.
Yeah, I mean, not using the Mac 10 for what I thought, but it is going down suicide very fast. So let's see how quickly Dignitas can get through these doors, if that is their plan. Exist toying with the idea, but just spotting for Fnatic right now. Nothing to be seen, nothing to be heard. It's a very passive, safe round for Fnatic. They don't have the AWP, and so they're kind of just locking in, hoping for Dig to commit into the stack. 3 on A side, 1 in the spawn, and 1 on B. Mid to be boost as well coming through. So Brolin is in, or Golden is in very good position. thanks to Crims. And this looks like it could end B, right? It's a standard default with Dig taking cap, but once they throw that cross smoke on the A site, that's when you decide, like, you can go back to lower, you can drop into mid, but right now with a man out long as well, seems like Dig want to take this A site.
Well, these smokes go down to try and allow the cross from Catwalk, and this is where we're going to see Get Right and Forest now start to pick up the pace over at long. Exist dives to his demise over here in CT, and oh no, Get Right hasn't checked for JW. Oh dear, there's a kill, and there is still Forest floating around towards the long side. He can come in and deal with JW, so they do get revenge for the man down in the pit. But a 3-on-3 retake, not impossible for the Fnatic squad. Setting up over towards Catwalk, all three players here. Molotov on Forest could stand to make things very difficult, and that's even if you can get past Halzerg, which apparently Fnatic cannot. Golden, now alone, offers himself up as well, and it's Halzerg delivering 3 kills to put a 6th on the board for Dig. Stepping back into the shoes from Overpass, he's looking to bring the heat here now with that AWP in hand.
Yeah, again, Fnatic on Eco as well. Dig are really sending it to them on this T side. It's a great showing from all of them, really, and Halzerg especially. The one Norwegian and a server of Swedes.
Surrounded almost.
Yeah. In every direction. Wow. Little grenade on long. Exist is going to go ahead of it, though. No fear as he takes down Brolin, and Dig, again, on this long position, can just commit to the A site up against Eco. This is a really safe way of playing around Ecos, the longest avenue in the map. I guess apart from middle, but this is very open as well. No doors in the way. Just got to worry about the car, and that's already been Molotov. So Dig have cleared out that close position, and they can begin whenever they want to move up. Right now, they're hoping to see a Fnatic go for anything with control still towards tunnels and lower. Forest is watching for any shenanigans. But there are the flashes on the long cross, and Dig can make their way to the site.
Oh, Get Right opening up. Halzerg helping out. It's still hidden over at Gandalf as JW, but not for long. That Molotov forces him into the open. And it's only Golden left in the blink of an eye. He does dig down Forest, and that is now an AK that can be retrieved and held onto. And that's actually pretty important for Fnatic. They're going to duck out of here. It's going to allow this next buy to have all the utility they need. You're not going to see any players limited. You know, Flusher certainly could have fallen under that category, having a lot less money than the rest of the team in this round. But will he get away with the AK?
I don't know. He's a very sneaky little fella here, isn't he? Oh. Not quite that sneaky.
Yeah, you can see that. Even if they're looking at the ground, if you focus and you're above window, you can always see it. It's just about, you know, like, if you're not looking for it, you're not going to see it. So Get Right, very aware, very attentive to that position, and not letting anyone get away with guns today. He was just waiting for Golden to stand back up anyway, just to guarantee the shot, solidify the kill, and keep Dig on the T side looking good. 7-3. When will Fnatic break this? It's been 4 in a row on the rifles. 2 of them eco rounds, of course. Halzerg's taking his ult B for a pick, but no one offering anything up right now. He might have to just go through this molly. Late, smoke on it. Golden alone. It's a perfect round to rush B. No one's close. Fnatic have 4 on the A site right now. They didn't even have mid control. So the fact that Golden goes down without a kill to his name means this round, again, might be done in an instant. There's no kits for Fnatic, and they don't want to give away a glass cannon AWP in a retake such as this.
Yeah, a volatile retake, right? We talked a little bit about retaking that B site and just how hard it can be. And in this instance, it's not even worth it. Fnatic try to hold on to the AWP, Get Right. Having a quick stroll around. He's going to run into a formidable foe of Brolin, drop his own rifle. So doesn't matter at the end of the day. Dignitas will pick up an 8th round. And so far, a good showing for him here on their T side.
So something else that I think is pretty intriguing about this Dig squad, right, is like you think, right, when you think about legends of the game, these are probably the names that kind of spring to mind, you know? And I think when we saw them approaching the end of like the NIP project in the form where it was this squad, they'd kind of been stuck in like a bit of an echo chamber, you know? Like no one had really seen life outside of NIP. And now, upon returning to this Dig squad, obviously you got Get Right and Forest coming over from the NIP squad most recently, so they did stay together. But obviously playing with a whole host of new teammates in there, having to get used to new styles of Counter-Strike, adapting to the new meta. And then you look at, you know, the IGL of Exist. He moved around, he was on FaZe, he was on Fnatic, he was here, there, and everywhere. So for every one of these guys, even though it felt like they'd kind of reached like their peak, they went out and they very much expanded their horizons.
Yeah.
You know, you think about Freiburg as well, playing in Heroic. They've all done it. They've all seen other sides of the coin. And now they join back up together years later with all that knowledge, all that experience gained from playing with other teammates. And I feel like that's why we're seeing this Dig squad looking so re-energized and so new in the server. JW here, over towards short side, does best. Forest on the entry, now going to try and batten down the hatches. He holds down for the long haul as he gets off towards ramp. Crim's taken up his position inside of the site, and JW nails Halzerk now. Freiburg has dropped down, and he comes in, but he's saved, bailed out by Golden. JW still alive. Exist hops on down and goes down as well. Get Right is dropped. And Fnatic will put a 4th round on the board, keeping it damn near flawless in the process.
What a legend Golden was in that round, right? I thought the big story was going to be Crims. He swapped position with JW inside of the site, and that could have been awful for Dig if they didn't realize it, and why would they with the smokes down? But Golden covers the cross. JW's on ramp, about to die from the side, and then Golden just kills him from CT. Even follows up with 3 in the round. I'm sure we'll see them hear it now. Just really nice stuff from Golden. So
yeah, that switch inside of the site, I was really hoping to see how that one played out, but it didn't quite matter. Here we go. Halzerk, straight aggression out the mid doors. He's going to check face there towards Game Helper, Car, whatever you want to call it. But it's Get Right with the opening kill in the round towards Long.
Yeah, just kills everywhere. Forest got one on B, Get Right on A. Wherever Fnatic look, they see corpses of their teammates, and they've got to gamble. Leaning towards B right now. That's the idea here for Fnatic, and it might be the right one. Oh, big kill for Halzerk. If JW gets that and crosses towards B without Fnatic or without Dig realizing, they could have been triple stacked inside of the site. Flusher is an absolute madman, and he's going to knife Halzerk in the back as Dig set up for a B take. They're going to bail. That's a good decision. They realize with a man in middle, there's often going to be a dude in the site as well, and Dig don't want to walk into the stack.
That's 2 knives for Flusher now.
3 in the series.
Dig are not being discreet about this rotation, so Golden and Flusher gonna try and get ahead of it. However, that's a pretty tall order. Flusher, let's see what he can bring to the table in this one. First kill on to Get Right found from Golden. Flusher gets cut down. Freiburg inside of the site solidifies that 9th on the board for Dig, and digs them out of the hole that Fnatic were looking to put them in. Reinvestment going to come back through from Fnatic, but it's a bit of a troublesome time. Thankfully, Daddy Flusher has plenty of pocket money for Brolin. He can drop a gun over. You get a replay of the knife as well. And that's so ballsy from Flusher to go for that, because, you know, there could have been more players waiting in mid. He could have just got shot in the back and not had any say in that round. But it's a nice little confidence booster. Speaking of confidence boosters, Halzerk has dealt with a man trying to cross the B, and now we likely just see a B play, and that looks to be the decision. Forest runs through the Molotov. Brolin tries to help out, but doesn't find anything, and this should just be the save. You don't even attempt this if you're Fnatic. If Dig don't give away a kill, boom. Nope. Then yeah, you don't even give this a look in.
And you can see Fnatic trying to patch this problem, right? They're adjusting setups and changing players around. That round is Brolin and B, not Golden. And like, no matter what they do, these B rushes have been so good for Dignitas. Obviously, it helps that Halzerk gets that cross down, you know, down from spawn. But yeah, you can't rely on that. And Dig still go for the B rush. Really, really good stuff. 10 rounds on this T side. And it feels like, you know, the more you bully Halzerk, the better he is. I'm thinking back to overpassing that OT. I'm thinking back to last round, getting knifed and then getting the cross shot. Like, this dude, you know, relatively inexperienced at the top level, and he is looking so comfortable right now in this roster.
Certainly, as it stands, one of Norway's finest. Now as a decider here, of course, we did kind of show you there a round or two back as to the next game that started over on the C stream phase in Movie Star Riders, just getting underway. And after this matchup, Nip and Fnatic, or excuse me, Dig and Fnatic Damn it, I did it, didn't I?
It's happened to all of us now.
Well, I was going to say after that it's a Strauss vitality, but all the wind's out of my sails now. So
Also, I love, man, we could get right on before this, and he was seeming really positive, like, you know, seemed like he was feeling good, even though, like, he was being very honest with us about where Dig are at. Man, he is showing up in the server. You know, back on Overpass, he was the guy who kickstarted it for Dig. And the same can be said even back on Train. Here on Dust, he's leading the way by a huge margin. And this has been the case for Dig. Normally, Get Right is the guy to get the ball rolling. And then you've got the rest of the team picking it up, showing up to close out these rounds. Forest down here in mid, spots Brolin over in the window. But this isn't a fight to be won by Dig just yet. Looking like they want to try and ease into a mid to B play. And with no one holding CT, this is a potential vulnerability for Fnatic.
Yeah, the old crunch. But Fnatic want double B, right? They don't want to weaken their A defense, but they also don't want to lose B because of one gunfight and then the round be over. So they've double set up inside of the site. Of course, yes, you say it, mid is open. But Fnatic should realize soon that this is going to be a B play, right? They've seen nothing anywhere else on the map. And JW can flank Catwalk aggressively if he wants to take risks. 40 seconds as Dig enter the site. Brolin sprays, he gets one. If he doubles it, that's excellent work. He can afford to go down now, but he's not looking to do so. Just stalling inside of the site, letting contact be made by his teammate, and Flusher finds another double as well. 1 by 1, Dignitas fall in this round. It's all on Freiburg for the 11 rounds in the half. That's what he's looking for, but it might not be realistic.
Ooh, he's given up his position. He heard the footsteps back in CT, and Freiburg is looking more antsy than ever. Flash to try and get him in. He spots Brolin, and Brolin deals with him. 5 on the board for Fnatic, but Dig still on double digits here. 10-5 in our third and final map. Dig leading the way. Can Fnatic pull it back, or will Dig be causing a bit of an upset today? Join us after a quick break to find out. You don't want to miss this.
Welcome back, everybody. We are ready to kickstart this second half of play. 10-5, currently in the way of Dignitas. And of course, this is the ESL 1 Road to Rio. Tons of Counter-Strike being played globally in an effort to get to that rescheduled major. Now, what I'm hoping we can do here is get this pistol round underway, and perhaps if we're lucky, sooner rather than later, Bastion could shut off the X-Ray, and we're going to take a look at just how skillful it takes to play in this game.
Yeah, this is a fast B play. We're going to get to see what Exist sees, and there you go. You see how little he gets to see. Freiburg now barreling in for his turn, and he's shot out of the round. For Forest, Get Right, and Halzerg, they've got to wait and try and retake this site in a 3-on-4. Crim's going to set up down beneath the window. The rest of Dig backing out. Maybe going to try and reroute through the tunnels, or maybe...
Yeah, they're looking for a bit of a two-pronged attack here, but the time is starting to tick away. JW's onto it. The jig is up for Get Right, who tried to go through lower. He's still going to battle it out. A little bit of damage done on both sides, but it's not going to be enough. This bomb has ticked down ever so far. JW winning the duel in tunnels certainly helps to make a case with Fnatic winning a pistol here. Couple trades, but overall it does not matter. Fnatic pick it up and put a 6th one on the board. They're still down by 4.
I barely gauged who killed who in that one. Like, without X-Ray, it is so hard.
And that is just how fast, you know, the reactions are. And that's one of the things, you know, like, as observers watching this game, you know, we can't help but be biased to the few extra bits of, I say few, like, we get all the information, you know?
Right.
And even the outlines kind of hide, like, how hard a lot of these shots are to hit, you know? You might think they're a pretty small change in, like, the grand scheme, because it is just a little yellow or blue outline. But my word, does it actually make a hell of a difference.
It makes a viewer, I would think, respect and appreciate some of the shots that we see moreover, because I think sometimes people tune in and just watch this and think we're playing some sort of, you know, like astronauts fighting astronauts game, people glowing through the wall. Maybe not astronauts fighting each other, but, you know, Space Force stuff.
I mean, yeah, that's
wizards
why,
and pixies.
That's why, you know, and that's another thing that doesn't necessarily translate to someone who hasn't played this game. It's not a point-and-click simulator. It's not a game where movement doesn't, you know, isn't held into account. You have to be standing still to be accurate. So there's just so many, like, you know, jiggling, ADing, going wide, like so many different ways to take fights. And, you know, it's not as simple as just aiming at the enemy. You have to combine it with good movement. And you can see that's what Halzerg's doing here on the A site, jiggling, going in for picks with the scout. Does find some damage, but won't find much more. Fnatic now setting up those cross smokes to commit. And Halzerg, he is on his own here right now. There are players coming in through CT, but they are going to get smoked off.
Ooh. Lands a shot on the Brolin. They're very low on this Fnatic side. They're going to try to cross in. That Molotov going to site's going to prove to be a little bit of a problem. Halzerg is stuck. Now just looking to land anything that'll stick. Get Right, pushes through the smoke, gets 2 with a deagle, and that bodes well going forward. Forest in a 1v2. They're going to smoke off Catwalk, but I don't see that slowing the man down. Here comes the tree himself. Takes down Flusha. Now in a 1v1. JW offering it up to him, and he grabs it. He's going to grab a round here for Dignitas, and that, my friends, is a good look.
Wow. That was the anti-eco. That was supposed to be Fnatic's. This is their comeback, and Forest has just laid that to rest. On top of that, we talk about how Fnatic have low HP players. It doesn't really matter. Forest just comes in and digs them both down, shoots them in the face. Double nade towards a spawn. That was great work from Get Right as well. And you look at Forest go here. Even like not the first shot, and that's more impressive than hitting the first shot, because once you've whiffed it, your gun's going to get more inaccurate anyway. And Forest, he does not care. He has brought the heat here. Maybe having a slower game for him, but in the round that matters, he steps up. JW drops Halzerg in middle, shooting the dead body just to make it really obvious. Advantage for Fnatic in this round, but this round is already a rough spot to be in with CCs in play.
I love that they're even BMing from top mid. You know, you think that's, you think you're safe if you're Halzerg? Nah, man. JW still shooting at the body.
Or he was trying to shoot that rifle away. I mean, either way, still looks cool from our perspective. Double nades on the catwalk. Brolin's going to be there on the other end of it. It's not going to do any damage to him. And now Fnatic are going to back out, trying to split a little bit of mid control here with a little bit of an upper B presence. It's going to be Get Right that answers the call in middle, and Forrest is going to have to hold his own, hitting some ridiculous taps from the back of the platform. Good grief. Just Crims, 1v3. Nets himself a pretty cool scout, but all things considered, even with the bomb in his hands, he's got his work cut out for him.
And this is, you know, this is Fnatic after losing that anti-eco, right? This is what they were left with. This was their best gun. So, not exactly a good situation to be in. And Dig, assuming they get 12 rounds here, they're going to go up 13-6 without... Ooh, okay, maybe I'm speaking too soon.
See ya.
Maybe I am, because Crims, he's got not only a one-on-one that he wins, but the site for free. They're going to have to play retake here.
Yeah, Freiburg got all that information because Crims did not shy away from the fact that he's there. He knows that with this time he has to clear out a little bit of the site before he goes for a plant. He gets it down, but now a little bit of a pincer here.
Oh, he spots Freiburg, trying to take the peak, and Freiburg holds the line, not going to miss that shot. And that's a key duel for Freiburg to win out, because if that goes one-on-one and Crims is given a moment, right, to regain some composure in the site after separating two 1v1s, then there's a chance that that can go awry for Dig. But Freiburg keeps it under control. Forest with 3. And a 12th round on the board for Dig. You bang on, Hugo. This is going to leave Fnatic with not much to work with in this round. They can invest in some pistols thanks to getting that bomb planted. But it should be a 13th round for Dig before all is said and done, and that buy comes in for the Fnatic squad.
Yeah, Forrest, one of these, you know, really exciting up-and-coming Swedish players. We haven't really seen any play styles quite. I'm kidding. Forrest has been around, I think Harry said, since the beginning of time, and no one can refute that. Moreover, the history books are going to note it too. Dignitas, well in control currently, 12-6, and they have the rifles.
Yeah, talking of the age as well, right? Like, Dig, these guys, if we look at their aggregate age, like average age across the team, these guys have the, obviously, unsurprisingly, pretty high one in comparison to the rest of the top 10. Theirs is 27.9. The next closest team in the top 10 is Vitality, and I think they're at 25. I'll just double check, 24.5.
So Boomer Esports.
Boomer Esports, yeah. But, you know, like, it's impressive that Dig are doing this well when, you know, there's always that question that gets brought up, like, how long can you play this game? When do reaction timings fall off? And the answer to these questions, we don't know, because there are still these players hanging around 20 years later and performing, you know, not at their peak, but performing excellently. And, I mean, the score is enough. 12-6, beating Fnatic, who certainly have some young guns on their side. Halzerk, though, a big weapon. And a big kill to find. Brolin going down on the site. And he's going to back off to long. Give Fnatic A. This is very common on these decos to just let the Ds get control, give them the plant, and play retake. It's a safe way of doing it. And you have the round lead to give away the money. You're not worried about that if you're Dig. So grouping up in a 5-on-4 and playing together. Limited utility is always a problem, though.
How's that going to throw this cat molly that we've seen a hell of a lot? And with the bomb planted for Catwalk, that's great because it keeps 2 of these players locked out of the retake momentarily. Golden has to answer for a hell of a lot as he's left in the site alone. And he gets shut down. Flusher wrapping in through CT. Crims deeks down another. This could still get out of hand. That bomb ticking away. They've got to get on it. Flusher trying to deny it, but Get Right holds the angle. And just about a 13th on the board for Dig up against the pistols. It still gets very, very close. And if you're Fnatic, you're kind of happy with that at the least, because you're going to force rebuys across the board and keep yourself in this spot where you're 1 round win away from bringing Dig's economy down to its knees. And from then on in, you can look to make this comeback happen. So that's pretty important that they're able to get that pistol round so close heading into this first investment over on the T side.
And for Dig, they look at this. They're only 3 rounds for picking up the whole series. They've got a little bit to work with here in terms of a cushion. But they do not want to let Fnatic get back into this. There shall be no more knife casualties, according to Dig.
Slow and steady wins a race. So Fnatic will hold off into this round. Slow default, taking that catwalk, making sure tunnels is also covered. And a lot of pressure on B being put by Flusher as he throws all of his grenades into that site. We'll find nothing from it, but what that does often do is force out utility from the defensive side. Dignitas don't have a lot, though, so they'll be holding on to what they can here, which is no grenades inside of B. Get Right has a nade and a flash in the doors, but other than that, it's not really going to matter, because Fnatic aren't going B anyway. Dig have leaned over towards that site. Right now, the cat play is coming through. Halzerk Last Molotov in play, throws his out on Catwalk, and a fall back again. It's a similar situation to last, except this time Flush has run out mid, and he's traded 1-for-1. Halzek's double scope, and they walked in below his shot. He misses it. How is he still alive? Golden will find him. Halzek's 2 shots go to the wind, and Freiburg has to give them the A site. Forest can try and deny things, but the grenade is not good. It's not for Catwalk. It doesn't matter. Forest and Freiburg clean it up in the retake, and Dignitas are looking so crisp individually. Forest has had a great CT side. Dignitas were on 14.
That's something special right there. Even the double zoom, you think, okay, surely Halzek falls, the site falls, the bomb goes down, and it all kind of unravels for Dig. That veteran C is not going to be letting up anytime soon. They hold fast. They hold the line. Now just 2 rounds away from what I want to call just a flat-out, straight-up upset.
Yeah. And that's the thing that's so impressive is, like, now when you contextualize that first OT on Train, you realize that this A could have been closer, and B, like, Dig have kept this up throughout, and that is what is so impressive here. Going toe-to-toe with Fnatic, the best team in the world right now, and they might be about to run away with this series. Fnatic, though, want to have a bit more to say before all is said and done. They get out towards Long, they start to make their way over towards the A side of the map. Halzek missed shot, and he's not going to get many more opportunities to connect these as they get up through the ramp. Get right, barrels through the smoke, and that's a little too fast, a little too overzealous with Brolin lying in wait on the other side. For Exist and Forest, the only decision might be to save, and it's a bit of a shame because Brolin and Crims are both tagged up. However, you know, they're not going to be the guys looking for contact first, and Dig are never to know this. They back out of the round, they hold on to these AKs, and so Fnatic will salvage a 7th round on the board.
Yeah, this Swedish party has delivered in spades. Now with a 7th round for Fnatic, we're going to see if they want to run it all the way back. We've gotten 2 games with overtimes thus far. And yes, that pushes us a little behind schedule, but that's okay. Astral's Vitality after this.
Does Flusher see Forest? I think he does. Yeah, he did. Oh, he saw the barrel sticking out. I noticed on the minimap, he was just hard fixed on that cubby. And his hunch was perfect. Now, can the plucky Swedish underdogs of Fnatic rise up and beat NIP? Wait, hang on. No, it's not.
That's not the narrative.
Wrong year, actually. Wait, no. Fnatic, best team in the world right now, have to try and make this comeback happen versus Dig. And, well, they do get one on the way to it. Halzek trying to take this fight down through mid. JW on the other side with an AWP. You don't envy Halzek in that one. And so he's just going for a few chance wallbangs with the scout. Doesn't find anything from it. Flusher opens this round up with a kill onto Freiburg. Man advantage taken. Damage done onto Halzek as well. The second time around, JW hits it, and as he often does, he'll send a few more through the doors after. Don't necessarily, this is BM, say he's just trying to make sure that if they go to retrieve that scout, there's a chance he can just wallbang them. Forest is close in mid.
Nice.
Blows that nade.
What?
That's some
classic nades and Counter-Strike. Just clip the corners.
He wanted to blow the AK towards him, for anyone wondering. That should be pretty obvious, but nades don't work the way that you think they would.
Look at all this information. Exist has pushed all the way around the back along A. He knows that it's full of T-sided players. Brolin laid out mid's going to cause a problem for Get Right. Either way, Exist still on the fast flank. The last one left alive. Takes the shot onto Crims. Looks for the second one. It's JW with the op in the site. And he's going to be able to get that bomb plant. This nade should land decently. I say that doesn't do a single point of damage, of course. And now it's Richard on the ramp. He's got to battle both Brolin and JW. That flash is going to come out, and the swing from JW over in quad is going to give him the kill with the deagle. We're going to see another round for Fnatic.
Yeah, big flash there because Exist had read that really well. You saw him looking at both positions. He was working it out. He realized the planter couldn't have run away to Cat. He didn't have time, and so he had to be Gandalf, and that was a Cat plant. So, you know, the rest is pretty clear to Exist. Not given a chance to make that 1 or 2 look interesting.
So, just out of curiosity, since we have a second or two, the Gandalf name, where did that come from? Does anyone know?
I think it's
sorry. I think in North America we call it quad, right?
Or
I don't know where it came from.
I don't know. I feel like it's just because, you know, like you sit there and you shall not pass kind of thing, right? Like, you know, you can hold that corner. Maybe it's got some ties into the whole.
I think you're reaching.
Look, man.
Let's just call it quad. What do you guys think?
Nah.
No.
Oh, okay.
I like Gandalf.
Yeah.
You know, deserved a bit more of a shout out, really. Yeah, shout out Gandalf if he's watching.
Big fan.
I hope he's watching, man. I know he's a big fan of Counter-Strike.
Okay.
His favorite player is Hobbit.
Nice. Well, on that note, we're going to bail out, hit the bail switch, and see a Molotov get dropped there. Halzerk wants to play around in it. Trying to roast some marshmallows, it would appear.
Look at the nades. They're setting up nades towards tunnels from B, but the issue is Flusher is walking up mid right now, and no one's watching, no one's aware, no one's considering it. He has got potential 3K inside of this site. Oh dear, they just spotted. Oh no, gotta burn him out.
They got a little one in there. They got the Flusher one, and the Flusher radar's going off. Beep, beep, here he is. And it doesn't matter, he's still tearing them apart. It's only the pistols, right? And there it is. Flusher shuts it down. 9th on the board for Fnatic. They're trying to make this comeback happen now. Yeah. Dig. First time they've really been in the position where it's them leading in a very big way over towards map point. Usually they've been the ones to begin the comebacks. And I know that's been different within the relative kind of, OTs that we've had. Back on Overpass, it was them to reach it first in OT. But here, it's an entirely different ball game because this decides the series. And so that pressure could be a bit different now for Dig. This is a game that they would have to be the ones to fumble to let Fnatic get back in.
Yeah, sometimes those last 2 rounds can be the hardest rounds around when you know Fnatic are trying their damnedest to keep this series going on. They do not want to lose this game because they want to go to Rio. And of course, the pride that stands alongside winning this matchup is huge for these Swedish guys. So right now, they might not have a choice. Bomb's been dropped in B. Forest with a grenade to make sure no one follows up. Fnatic might have to abandon this position, but they could get the grenade out before, this smoke fades. But Dig have pushed ahead of it, and that's a really heads-up play, holding onto the package, re-smoking things as well. Halzerk's come from lower, and that's such a confident play to make when you have the bomb down. You have no need to force gunfights, and Halzerk goes right behind Fnatic. They do not expect it. Crims, a clutch, a 1-on-3, often been the pillar of consistency for this team and the man to look towards even when things aren't going right. Will that continue today?
Yeah, Crims first going to look for Halzerk, who's gone missing down in the lower tunnels. Crims clearing this portion of the map, and that there will kind of solidify this knowledge that they are just holding down the bomb. Now, the odds of him finding anything in this round very much relies on Dig dropping the ball a bit and giving him some 1v1 fights. And so the thing here is Forest, or Freiburg rather, he's just tucked. He doesn't have to stand up. Forest will be the first point of contact, and then a triple peek will come through. And yeah, that's exactly what happens. Halzerk just beats them to the punchline. It's match and series point for Dig versus Fnatic. You heard that correctly, 15-9. Dig may be about to run away with this series with the newly crowned best in the world on the other side. Fnatic maybe about to have this one slip through the net, and what a story it would be, especially because it's been Get Right and Forest, 2 of the names that we've been looking to step up and make these rounds look like a possibility. Exist gets tagged on the cross, but Fnatic aren't to know that. They do set up outside of the B site early on, and this is where that earlier damage onto Exist could prove paramount.
Yeah, we've seen plenty of overtimes in this series thus far, so you cannot discount that going into what could be the last round. Dig sit on 15. Well, Fnatic, they sit on the B halls. Not out just yet. JW still spotting middle with his AWP. Now they're going to go for it. 4 is good for 1. And another frag to be had on Exist in the back of the platform. So this bomb, well, it's going to get planted. And you can already see Dignitas. They're going to save here.
Yeah, I mean, Dignitas finally getting what happened to them, so what they did often to Fnatic in the first half, which is these annoying B crunches. Pretty continual for Fnatic. And one thing that Dig have been doing well, right, on the CT side is they've not necessarily been like out-aiming Fnatic, but they've been out-braining them. They've been playing really, really smart, in often giving away bomb plants. Look at those 4 rounds Dig have won, all of them being retakes. Dig often just peeling off long with the AWP on Halzerk, taking the long doors, giving Catwalk away, letting Fnatic plant A, and then retaking with an advantage. And that's been how a lot of these rounds have gone for Dig. And so that's put them in a very good position. So B, not the most retakeable, and Dig won't even consider it. They lose those 2 players, and they instantly throw in the towel. And now a 15-10 comeback for Fnatic. We saw Dig come back from 15-10 on Overpass, only to win it out in triple overtime. So you'd be a fool to think that this series is over because Dignitas have 15 rounds. So Let's see where Fnatic can take this one.
Yeah, as I said, this series has taught us quite a bit, and we're learning more and more about Dignitas. And right now, Fnatic are learning a little bit more than they care to. Might even have a little homework on the outset of this one. They try to brute force their way out of long A. It's going to be a flurry of flashes. Everybody's blind from here and back again. Now a little bit of a waiting game. They do have a player in pit in the form of Brolin. He's going to try to creep up. Maybe someone will give him a cheeky headshot to just run away with. But he's going to get out of the pit. They're going to give up this position. And for all Dignitas knows, they're not in the B tunnels. They could certainly be out long. That's going to pose to be a little bit of a problem. Flusha finds the push from Exist. Richard is going to have to wait out another round. And well, that gives Flusha the opportunity to try to recontain these halls, recontrol them.
Oh, JW, though, he's going to extend things here. Now, there is a man to watch out for in middle still after that kill, but AWP firing off here has put Fnatic in a 5-on-3. Reaction from Freiburg is to aggress Catwalk. It's not a good timing to do so. Bomb drop doesn't want to hang around for too long. Forrest tries to help him out, but instead he will be taken down. Freiburg, how on earth is he alive? Dropping another man yet. Fnatic should just split B. They've got the information. They spotted both players, and they know exactly where Dig are contained. One plant can be allowed, and Dig going to go for the boost here. Oh, Flusha spamming it. Not ready for the second player up top, but get right. One trade and a 1-on-2 with Brolin cutting off middle.
Yeah, he has no idea about Brolin. He's assuming that both these players are in the site. Now he's wondering, where the heck did I get shot from? I guess it was middle. Yeah. Oh, they're both so low, both on 16 HP as well.
It's not that he knows that.
Doable, but Get Right doesn't know, and so he just has to back away. And, you know, I think as well, he kind of realizes it. Like, there were two ways, once learning Brolin was in mid, that could have gone down, right? Either Brolin, after missing that spray, Get Right immediately turns and is able to find that fight, or he just hard commits B from the offset.
Right.
And so that kind of indecisiveness where he kind of weighed up his options and then looks back to here mid, and he hears Brolin running through the lower tunnels. He knows Brolin's already gotten away, right? So suddenly that B site does become a 1v2 again. And so Get Right just plays it safe, plays it by the numbers. Will allow Fnatic to put another round up on the board, edging us ever closer to another overtime in this series. Now just 4 between them and Dig. Dig, with no money left, going to be relying on Get Right to deliver with this AWP in this round. He's got the long spawn, so he runs towards there early. However, Fnatic are not going to be found at long. It's an all-out B play. They know the money isn't there for Dig. They know that in the worst-case scenario, right, even if there's a full-on stack at this B site, you're only going to be up against the pistols, and that doesn't happen, especially not with Golden holding mid. He spotted that, you know, there wasn't just a bunch of dudes running across, so they felt pretty safe in all of that.
What's that smell? Is someone cooking overtime in the kitchen?
Oh, someone burned the overtime again. JW dropping a big old grenade, but unfortunately, for him at least, it's not good for any kills. They're going to pull some fights here and spawn. Try to recover some weapons. $15 to 12. Fnatic keep the pressure on Dignitas.
Golden, gotta be careful here. There's an AWP on the other side. But he's gonna get away. Actually, I say that. Smoke down, playing inside of it. Does have cover from Crims, luckily enough. But Brolin's dead. That's a gun lost. Luckily for Fnatic, they're against 15. So money is but an object at this point. They can just continue to buy with no worry about, you know, running low. Maybe 5 auto snipers would be crossing the line. But other than that, they can pretty much go however they want. Fnatic, they like an auto sniper or 2 in T-spawn.
There is a very heavy B spawn in this round as well for Fnatic, right? They have no one long side, so I imagine we're at least going to have to test the waters with a few players towards this B site, and they run the gauntlet down through mid as well. Dig might get blindsided by the pace of this. Brolin's already out in mid. They're splitting B, and this has been telegraphed now. There's some level of understanding from Dig, but there's only so much they can do in response. They try and get through the mid-smoke, and to their demise, Forrest does win a duel onto Brolin, and that's going to stop Fnatic in their tracks, because suddenly this B site isn't a guarantee anymore. And there's another for Forrest. He drops Golden.
Oh, man.
Man advantage now in favor of Dig, in a round that was looking to be fast and ferocious from Fnatic. It's now slowed right down. as they sit in a 3-on-4, no control. Whatever they did have earlier on has been rescinded, and they've now got to try and spread out to retake this map. But that kill from Crims onto Halzerg has opened up a world of opportunity once again. They try and get up towards short, and they've got Freiburg trapped. The A site has been gifted over on a silver plat to Fnatic. Exist is flanking down through the lower tunnels. Freiburg up from CT has to do it all as he stands here alone. He does deal with JW, leaving them in a 2-on-2, and he just hides, waiting for Exist to join the fray.
Exist can flash his teammate into a fight if he wants to. It goes both ways. Utility on either side of Dig as they set up for this retake, but contact being made and damage traded in the favor of Fnatic. Flash is bad, it doesn't do a thing. They dodge it. Flusher can fight ahead of it. Crims will join him. Fiber jumping and into the waiting arms of Flusher. Great round for Fnatic. And that's an example of when it's good to know when to slow down, when to stop. And I don't think Get Right was ready for Fnatic to pull the brakes there. Why would you be? When you see those fast mid to Bs, Fnatic gets spotted by the cross. There's Halzerg AWPing A site. He's watching mid and he misses a shot. Fnatic go, okay, they know what we're doing. They've seen this. They're watching it from A. So we probably shouldn't split B because the B players are ready for it. And so Fnatic turn around. And while doing so, Get Right dives through middle. And that gives a free kill, the advantage away at Fnatic, and they can just slow draw out the round off the back of that advantage.
And that gives a very, very crucial tactical timeout to come in for Fnatic as well. And surely Dignitas can appreciate that. They can respect that as they sort of need to work on some things on their own end as well. Halzerg on an AWP. We're going to put some pistols beside it. Again, this is match point for Dig. They are sitting on series point, and we've already seen some overtimes. Will there be more? We're certainly working on it. A good case being made by Fnatic to give us just that, and especially for a guy like Flush at 26-17 in regulation thus far, and only topped by Forest at 27-18.
Wow, the pistols in play, and the AWP on Halzerg looking for a boost kill. Oh, he's got it. JW's gone down early. That's a massive frag for Dig. Now, this still shouldn't, I say shouldn't, be a round that they can convert with 4 players unarmed and 4 unarmored. But Dig have at least done the dirty work, taken the AWP out of the picture early on. Crims has picked it up to try and respond. And Forest has even pushed as well. Now, aggressing in an advantage is dangerous for Dig. Oh, but Forest has found the perfect timing. He's also given away his position, so it doesn't last long. Crims is quick to trade right back with the AWP, and Fnatic need to run a painfully slow round. They are just waiting for Dig to walk into their arms, and Dig are doing that and more, giving them kills. Golden eventually gets his gun back in his hands, but he should give away the B tunnels here for now, not wanting to lose that bomb to Dig, who've spotted it on that side of the map, but they also know it's rotating.
And Dig gave a lot of emphasis and a lot of attention to B early on in this round. They left A pretty much complete path wide open up catwalk. That may come back to haunt them. Long A is completely open. This A side is abandoned, and now it looks like Dig just want to flex on wherever the bomb gets planted. Flash out middle. Brolin's going to try to peek a little bit. Maybe he can find one for himself or take this AWP out of the hands of Exist. They've gambled on this B side of things, and well, that chip stack's about to move on over to the Fnatic side.
Yeah, Get Right. The only guy who could have heard this gets shut down over here in mid. So for Exist and Freiburg, this will just be the save. Fnatic are taking us to a 14th. We're going the full 30 rounds as a bare minimum. Dig, they've got one more chance to close this series out here and now in this following round, or else we will be heading to another overtime, our 5th in this series. At this point, I would feel upset if we don't get another OT, right? Like, if every other map has had it apart from the Decider, well, then the Decider was garbage. Yeah. I mean, that's not entirely true. This has been a great match of Dust 2. Dust 2 is usually not a very fun map either.
Well, hold on one second before we do jump in overtime. Of course, now just formalities at the end of this round.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that was just checking that myself. Over on what is the C stream, Movie Star Riders up 14-3 on Overpass, FaZe on T side. And that does not look like it's fun. Alex on 21-7, LOL 14-11.
Upsets all across the board today. Well, maybe. Also maybe not, because Dig, they've had a hell of a streak, a hell of a lead, and Fnatic have pulled quite the comeback on this T side. They have won 8 out of the last 9 rounds. Took me a second there, but quite the recovery from Fnatic. Is it all in vain, though, or is it going to take us a little bit further as we look for the bonus rounds? We've had them in both maps so far. 3 in Overpass, 1 in Train. Can only imagine for the streak to continue here.
And it's another one of these very, very slow rounds from Fnatic. This is where Dig are likely not going to bother pushing, right? They don't want to be giving anything away. You've seen Fnatic moving into these slower holds as they've adjusted to the aggression that Dig have been pulling in. And so as a result, Dig are a lot more reserved in this round. As well as that, no one holding the catwalk leaves this as a major vulnerability. Halzerk's going to move back in. He's playing the crossroads. This gives him, you know, 1 shot's worth of engagement, and then he needs to start to think about falling back to join up with Freiburg.
Yeah, they want to flash Halzerk off. Decent idea they have that he's holding this elbow angle towards catwalk from long, from the car, and he still is. However, the brunt of the Fnatic hit looks to want to look at middle. They're going to start to walk it on out. Smoke coming out for CT. Get right. He's about to have his hands full.
It's a great gamble for Dig. 3 on the B-bomb site. No one's checking anything. They've got 2 advantages. Fnatic have been going B all half long, and Dig read into it in the most important round of all. They can't even get the bomb back. Get right going in with a nade, and it's done. It's over. It's out of here. Dignitas 16-14 on the 3rd, the final map, and they will take this series versus the best in the world. What a game. What a matchup. And we're going to talk to the victors as well. Join us after the break for a little bit more.
Your eyes, I can't seem to focus. It doesn't matter cause you live a lie. You want attention from every guy in the park, but when you call, give you my heart, you rip it out. I can't pretend to like you, I hope you feel the same. I take a chance and not lose. I can't pretend to like you, pretend to like you. I hope you feel the same. I take a chance and not lose. I can't pretend to like you. I can't pretend to like you. I hope you feel the same. I take a chance and not take a chance and I can't pretend to like you.
Last time that I really felt fine. Now I'm trying to rewind. Cause lately I've been feeling kinda hazy, like I'm stuck in a daydream, and you're not here to save me. Down and out, I hit the floor. All is fair in love and war, but I can't do this anymore. No, no. So take me to a place I know, somewhere I can feel my soul. Lately I'm skin and bone, so hollow. I've never felt so alone. Need you more than you know. Stay, feel like home. Take me to a place I know, somewhere where I can feel my soul. Lately I'm skin and bones.
Well, it took them 3 maps, but we got it done there at the end of the day. And by we, I'm talking about the Dignitas fans all around there. They do actually put Fnatic down. And what is an absolute upset here for the ESL 1 Road to Rio. Welcome back, everybody. We are just on the cusp of starting this Astralis Vitality game. But first and foremost, we need to come to a close in the matchup that we just witnessed. Dignitas really took it to Fnatic. They got it done.
Yeah, and I mean, it's the fashion in which they did it, right? Like, it's not like they caught a Fnatic that's down on its luck, not looking good. Like, this is a Fnatic looking great right now, and they go ahead and they beat them in 3 close maps, right? Fnatic playing their hearts out, so a Dig, and I mean, man, like, what a story, right, in this Swedish brawl.
There's so much going on in and around the server right here, especially inside of the server. When we start to talk about some of the things that we saw, you have to obviously bring up this gentleman. Get right. He goes 88-76. That's plus 12 for all you mathematicians out there. 77.7 ADR because of all the luck in the world. And we do have him on the line here with us right now. Mr. Get Right, sir. Congratulations in this Mountain Dew amped Game Fuel post-match. Man, quite the showing.
Thank you. Yeah. I don't know how long ago we actually beat it, Fnatic, even though it's online. At least me and Forrest. So that was a nice victory. Like, I'm a little bit... I was smiling a little bit too much. If you were having me directly on the line, then you would be seeing a little bit more happiness. Now I'm just like...
It's kind of calming down. It's kind of like settling, you know, like the dust is settling. Speaking of settling dust too, man, look, I kind of want to just point some attention to this right off the top. Now, we know that this game can get a little personal from time to time. There were some bodies being shot, but Hall Zerk, how do we get him to fall into that same sort of line? Because I think, what, he just got fed up with it, or what happened there?
He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
He can definitely do that. So Get Right, we look ahead at the series as well. Usually we see more antics out of Fnatic, if you will. They come around, they're trying to knife people, get R8s out. Do you think that they showed up at the server today ready to respect you guys in game?
I think every time we play each other, it's always going to be a close series, no matter what. And I mean, they got a couple of knives there and there. But in the end, you know, it's just a Swedish derby, and it's a Swedish El Clasico, you know, like, it's just a fun game. I think it's nice for all the fans to watch, and it's nice for us to play it as well. I mean, the last couple of years now, even, hasn't gone the way like we wanted, but it was nice to break it, I guess, in a way. But you know, one step at a time.
Get Right, there are parallels to be drawn between both your rosters in the terms of, you know, bringing the band back together and you know, uniting what was once the best in the world for you and Fnatic. From you personally, what is the hardest part of this Dig roster? What is the hardest part of bringing everyone back together and still maintaining success?
It's to get everyone on board, I think. It's more getting everyone on the same page and more... I don't know. I think it's a little bit more on my shoulder in a way, because I just want to perform and I just want to play well with my team. And I think it's just nice for me individually, because now I'm taking over, it's about me, but to be with people I love and care and see as family. And I think that's just shown, because in the end, it's like, no matter how bad a game can go, like we did against NFP the other day, or the other week, we just like not, you know, drop down there and just like, this sucks, you know, just give up. And
yeah,
blah, blah,
been
blah.
here before, I guess.
Yes and no, because in that regard, putting back the band together basically after so many years from each other is not an easy task, you know, and that's why I already said in the pre-interview, you know, things gonna take time. And I mean, this was a small victory for us today. Tomorrow, maybe we lose again. I don't know. Like, it's going to take time. We just have to be positive and just stay on the road, basically. Just look ahead, because if we, like, stop doing that, then it's not going to be any Dig roster anymore.
It's true. Harry, what do you got from that? You got not much time.
I was just wondering, you know, obviously since you guys were under like the NIP banner and now rejoining for Dig, you know, obviously for people like Exist and Freiburg, they spent some time in other teams, right? And I'm just wondering, is that something that you guys have looked to try and draw some experience from? You know, do you think a bit of a hiatus from the old days has been helpful, or do you think that's something that maybe holds you back?
I'm not really understanding the question.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, so because like, you know, obviously like Exist went to had some time in FaZe and Fnatic, right? And then you had like Freiburg as well going into that heroic squad. Have they like brought some ideas and some like fresh perspectives with them for you guys?
Oh, for sure. I mean, even Hulsark is putting in a couple of few ideas, and even Fifth Line, who has been gone from the scene for such a long time. You know, like I think it's good for, at least for me, to be like. They step on my feet all the time, because like I feel like I need to renew myself, and I think everyone needs to renew themselves in their own aspect. So being far from each other in a way, and then play together again, and seeing what we've learned through the years from each other, it helps us like a lot. And you know, it's gonna take time, but it's fun.
It's a project, and obviously there is a family vibe there. Chris, I would love to have you on for much longer. We got this Astralis Vitality game. Is there anything that you want to say to the fans that have been supporting this Dig project?
Thank you, and hope you continue doing it, because it means the world to me personally, and for the guys, because if it wasn't for you, then this wouldn't probably be happening.
Yeah, and I can see that, man. Congratulations. Big W there today for you guys. We'll see you around, Mr. Get Right.
Take it easy.
And on that note, we're not going to take it easy. We can't. It's impossible, Chris. I hope you understand I cannot follow those words, because I have to follow into this next game. We got Astralis Vitality, a super series of sorts. We're going to be going to that right after a break, and we're going to be checking out what Astralis can do against the French side. BRB, everybody. Join us when we come back.
What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
To be brilliant is to defy convention and challenge expectations. So Intel will bring the processing power for when it's time to go brilliant. Frame rates that keep up with your reflexes. Brilliant. Fast clock speeds for when you're on the clock. Brilliant. It's what we do at Intel, powering you to master your potential. Will you rise? Intel. Unleash your brilliance.
Last year, we took 2 lucky winners on a trip to Berlin and gave them the experience of a lifetime. This year, we can take you for a trip to Rio. Take part in a series of GG.bet contests for a chance to win awesome prizes and a trip to Rio. See details on the website.
Something gold. No, I sold my soul to the devil long ago. I rode it all alone on your wave right before it broke. Time was thrown down the well, so I let you go. What I do past the point of no return. Something is calling me. It's in the air that I breathe. Bring me back to life again.
ESL 1 Road to Rio is brought to you in part by Intel, Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, and GG Bet.
We're back at it, and in a furious pace, we do have this super series of Astralis taking on Vitality. Now, this is going to be a rather sped-fast one, and a chance of some overtimes on the card. We are a little bit behind, but we're going to catch right on up with this action. My name is Trace, alongside me is Harry and Hugo, and we're ready to get this one popping, boys. Super series in my server? Hot damn, must be my lucky day.
Yeah, it is. Well, you just had a hell of a series. This one has really got to do a whole lot if it wants to live up to the hype of the previous. I mean, it's a good matchup, though. We get Astralis back on the board. We get to see how they're doing in the road to Rio. And, of course, Vitality, who we saw in the Pro League that were able to take one map off of Astralis in a best-of-3 there. Well, they've now had some more time with this roster. Some more time not only for the in-game leading role to be, picked up by Apex, but, of course, Masuta to get comfortable as well.
Yeah, I think with good reason, right? This is a very spicy series today, and I like Vitality. They're not coming into this with like the hottest track record as of late. They have a win over Complexity, but they lost to NIP, they lost to OG, they lost to Astralis back in the Pro League already. So we've seen a Vitality that's been a bit hit and miss. I think that's to be expected, right? When you look at the level of changes this team has had to make, obviously bringing Masuta in, losing Alex, it has been a kind of hell of a time thus far for the Vitality squad. But if you remember back in the Pro League, we were pretty big fans of Apex taking over this leading role. I think he's been looking great as an individual, and that's at least one silver lining to look for this Vitality squad.
That they are, especially when we look at the Vitality squad. I mean, we're even getting glimpses of RPK coming out to do things big ways and really putting a new face to this Vitality team that you're right. When they have an IGL step out, they're basically building back over. Now, Apex being at the helm has been an entertaining part, but I want to jump right into the vetoes. I don't want to waste any time. I want to get this game started right here, right now, on potentially 3 maps. We just got some overtimes, and that's what's put us in this dilemma that we're in. So our maps are going to fly in. Train, Mirage are out of the picture, and that's going to leave both Dust 2 as the pick of Vitality, a T-sided start for Astralis, our second map of Nuke, pick from Astralis, CT-sided start for Vitality. Let's just get the last map out there and stop jibber-jabbering. Let's just get it all out in front of us so that we can all kind of appreciate what game that we have on our hands. Inferno, a decider, and likely so for many series, to include this one.
Yeah, not a surprise there. We see, the same the same pick for Vitality and Dust 2. Last time we had Overpass and then Nuke. Overpass went the way of Vitality in overtime, so that's Astralis' second ban. They get it out. They pick Inferno as a safe third map decider. And Nuke, of course, Astralis picked up last time, is their choice for this. It's no surprise. It's pretty standard. Dust 2, Nuke, Inferno. That's a good map pool for this series. I think we're going the distance, Trace, and I don't think any other map pool could have really set us that way. Obviously Astralis looking to make changes on Overpass, and I'm sure improvements since they lost that game versus Vitality. It was a month ago now. So.
How about the weirdest timeline that we have Astralis that are vulnerable, but not only on mini maps, we're talking about a map like Nuke.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's to be expected, right? Like, it does feel like with a team like Astralis, how long can you keep being the team, innovating the meta, coming in at the top of the board? And that is what makes a legendary run, and that is what defines an era ultimately, right? But it's like, Astralis are only human at the end of the day. At least I think so, right?
I
can't say that with 100% confidence, because they do seem like machines at time. It's just, I think it's natural that they're going to have, not like teething issues, because that's not the problem. It is just kind of their success catching up with them and becoming a problem.
Well, let's keep this Super Series vibe going. Let's get some Pippa Jammers in chat. And moreover, let's see what Astralis and Vitality can bring us on Dust 2. We just left Dust 2. We're going right back into it, ladies and gentlemen. Nuke will be after that. Inferno after that. And then Cloud9 versus the Evil Geniuses. But we're off to the races with a pistol round. And it looks like it's going to be Device and crew heading towards this B site with the bomb.
Yeah, we're not waiting around. We are quick into the action here. Astralis, T-side start on Dust 2, the pick of Vitality. It's a fast lower play as well. There's a player in mid waiting for this exact push, and ZywOo, he's doubled down. This is a man to be terrified of on a good day, even on a bad day. ZywOo with 2, falling out of middle, and Astralis having to fight back tooth and nail. This is always so hard with Glock.